for the most part. I mean, it went over a minute, but hey, I had to make a thumbnail. Hello, mommy of three miracles. For once, I have completely beat chat. Yeah. We may be doing a bit of a change up on stuff before too long. Apparently, people don't like me talking to the chat at the beginning of a live stream, which is a little weird. They kind of expect me to just do this like an episode. I find it to be odd, because the whole point of a live stream, at least back in the day, was to interact with chat. I guess people are too used to the professional format, you know? And that's just not me. But if you guys really want me to go that route, I guess I could. I could learn how to do it a little better. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, that's up to you guys fully. If you really want me to go full-fledged professional and stuff like that, I mean, I can give it a shot. I don't know. I'll have to see how far it goes. Bishop, boy. Can't be up here near the food and stuff. I got, today my wife made me awesome, very cheesy, like Alfredo. It's like unbelievable how good it is. Alfredo chicken. So I will be munching on this during the video. Just letting you know. Oh, hey, buddy. I know you want it so bad. He's trying so hard to get to it. No, not the cup either. Okay. All right, buddy. All right. I know. You're, do you want to go down outside? You want to go outside? Yeah, I bet you. All right. Here, let's go outside. Oh, what a stinker. Hey, guys. Hey, Capazzo. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Journal. Hey, yep, that's everyone so far. Awesome. Glad to have you guys here. Just waiting on some people to come in, you know. We don't normally start, like, right off the bat whenever I do this. Normally, I build some people up because I tell you guys, like, an hour in advance when I'm going to stream. But today, as per usual, it's hectic, you know. I had to work all last night. Got home actually right around 8 instead of 6. So, instead of being home at 6 p.m. or 6 a.m., I got home at 8 a.m. So, you know. And then I woke up at about 10:45 a.m. I think it was about 10:45 I woke up. So I'm running off that much sleep. Yeah. That's just where we're at right now. It's okay though. Things will change. And you know, I'm happy to be where I'm at, so it's all good. Man. But at least I get to sleep in tomorrow. So there is that. I do get to sleep in tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Hey, Judgy Juris. Hey, oh, well, there's two Ashleys. Okay, so hey, Ashley B, and hey, Ashley Wynn. Hey, Sherry. Awesome to have you guys in here. We're going to be watching this, apparently, today. I think we're going to just go ahead and save the rest of the Steven Crowder stuff for tomorrow, since there's nothing else to watch tomorrow anyway. And I would mainly kind of do the trolling. So maybe I'll just do like half trolling, half Steven Crowder and Nick Fuentes debate. And then, yeah. This is going to be a crazy episode, apparently. Because not only does this crazy lady right here have the exact same colored hair as Candace. She dyed it. You could clearly see she's dyed her hair. Not only does she have it in the same cut as Candace, but she also has the same dreams as Candace. Does my wife call me Artie? No. She doesn't call me Artie. She calls me Nick. Yeah. She didn't even know I changed the channel to Artie Trolls until more recently. And I've had it changed to Artie Trolls for like a year now. It's been about a full year, I think I changed the name from Arthur Messia to Artie. So, it's kind of funny. I have to take half a Xanax to deal with cameras. Yeah, I think we all do. What do they call it? You gotta take a suppository to deal with Candace. That's how bad it is. Oh, man. Woo, gotta be boofing it. Anyway, hey, Zoe. Hey, Bugsy. Good to see you here. Hey, Carrie. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Carrie Lumai? Carrie Lumai? Have I seen you in here before? Am I crazy? There's so many of you guys now. I feel guilty if I actually forget somebody. So, it's like, oh no, I'm getting to that point, but I don't want to get to that point. Like, I want to get more people, don't get me wrong. But, it's, I just feel bad if I don't recognize someone. Feeling a bit nauseous, so I don't know how long I'll be able to stomach this. Don't worry, we're in it together. We're all here. We get to have fun. We get to make fun of them. Look at this Candace Owens clone. She even has a barcode. Like, am I losing my mind? Lady got a barcode right here. She has Candace Owens, like, well, I guess Candace Owens' nose turns up a bit, but her nose goes down. She'll fix that probably. She got her hair cut. She's got her same, like, jaw shape, too. It's weird. I don't know. And then they share the exact same Charlie Kirk dream. Is that not weird? You don't comment much, Carrie? Well, I'm still glad to have you here. But hey, I'm glad to hear every one of you guys. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. Like, y'all are amazing. Y'all are just absolutely amazing. Yeah, just waiting on some more people to get in here. Normally we don't got just 32, but maybe, is anybody else live? Did I steal anybody else's thunder here? Or am I stealing anyone else's thunder? I hope not. It's a Friday night. I think we all compete around this time. I really would like to be getting on earlier in the day. Why is YouTube so complicated? No? Oh, Trey Xavier's live. Wonder what he's doing. Philip McKnight's live too. Weird. Jay Witt's live right now. Heck yeah. If we get off here early, we'll have you guys raid Jay Witt. Why not? Fun. That'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, there's that. Okay, back to the live chat here. 32 people here. You know what? We'll get started. 32 people. More people will roll in. I normally give a lot of notice for my live stream, so it's gonna be just slow today. That's just how it is. People slow roll in, but already you guys are jumping in, so yeah. Hey guys, Jay Witt is live. Hey, Mom Al. Yeah, I mean, you guys go, I do not take offense if you guys go over to Jay Witt's stream. I will not take offense, okay? Don't worry. He's great. He's got a great show. I do not blame anybody. So, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, y'all ready to jump on into this video? I hate to jump in with so few people because so many people have to start, like, a little later. Because I imagine we'll get at least 200 people in here at one time. That's the norm. And when that happens, I'd hate to make all those people just, miss it. But it is. Oh, she's a Scientologist too. Are you kidding me? This lady's a Scientologist? It's a little weird for a Catholic to be inviting Scientologists and for them to have similar dreams. Yeah. They both apparently share a dream with Charlie Kirk. This is going to be weird. This is going to be really, really weird. But alrighty, guys, let's go ahead. We're going to jump into this. I'm going to be eating some of this, so I'll have my microphone muted through parts. So I might be a little slow on the responses until this. Oh, I should full screen this. It's cutting them off. Boop. There we go. That's much better. All right, guys, let's get started. And for anybody, I have some questions for you guys after this video about the direction you all want to see this live stream go. Because I'm not taking offense to it. People are legitimately like, hey, the stream hasn't started yet. Even though this is technically part of the stream, I'm streaming now and talking to you guys. Is that something you all don't want to see anymore? Like, should I save all the chat for the very end of all this stuff or something? Things that I'll be asking you guys at the end. But just something for y'all to think about, Let's go ahead and let's start watching this. Alrighty. Volume was muted there.
Thank you so much.
Happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here with you. So, you know that I'm a huge fan of yours, and no matter how many people are out there trying to bring you down, I'm always going to be on your side. Hope nothing changes unless one day you come out and you start, pushing Zionist propaganda, then I might have to leave you then.
This lady Russian or something? The Zionist propaganda. All in Mother Russia. Razor. Wait. Not razor. It would be, in communist Russia, you shave razor. Something like that.
I think we can safely say that that day will not come.
Okay, perfect.
She does like her Russian literature.
You know, I thought about this interview when I was coming over here, and I was like, what do I want to, where do I want to go with this? Because everyone knows, Candace, you're so open out there with people. I think that's why they love you so much, because you speak for them. That's that's how I see you, my reflection of you. So I wanted to start with a story of Charlie Kirk that
And all about how I... Wait, what's the rest of the lyrics there? Ah, dang it, I forgot. Whatever. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. There we go.
one knows, something that brings you happiness, something that you can remember and share with us.
Wow, okay, I could pick a lot of stories. I say this often on my podcast, but he was really funny. And one of the things that
Oh, she's Turkish? Oh. Well. Okay. That's that's not surprising. That's... All right. Well, just don't bring any Armenians around, I guess. For Candace here. I hope Candace isn't part Armenian.
guess is so sad in sort of the wake of his assassination is it was so corporatized and so political that it didn't actually, you didn't learn anything about Charlie when you heard all of these political figures speaking and obviously pushing their church propaganda and also Republican propaganda. And the real Charlie was just objectively hilarious. He was objectively hilarious. But there's one story that I actually thought about recently, which was obviously we traveled, I mean, 4 times a week. We were traveling together. You really just get to know somebody in that circumstance. Early morning, you realize you forgot to pack something or your suitcase didn't come through, and we're waiting outside at like 4 a.m. for Walmart to open at 5 a.m. in the middle of nowhere. But I will never forget New Mexico. Charlie and I used to always eat Chipotle. That was our go-to. We ate Chipotle everywhere we were. We were just thinking, gosh, Chipotle has to sponsor us, It was just an easy meal that felt light enough and you don't feel like crap when you're traveling. But we went to New
And then the Chipotle tweeted her at like 6 months after she had eaten at Chipotle, even though she'd never eaten there, apparently. But yeah, 6 months later after she had first eaten there, then they tweeted her. But then she said that, it's a whole Kanye joke.
Mexico. And this was during the time that we were wearing like the Build the Wall shirts and like, very pro-Trump, very pro-MAGA, wearing our MAGA hats, Build the Wall. And we went to this random Chipotle in New Mexico. And I can't explain it to you, but it was the greatest tacos we ever had in our lives. And I just remember Charlie saying, the tomatoes are glistening. Like the tomatoes are glistening. And he was like, do you think we got this wall thing wrong? Like, should we go backwards and stop saying build the wall? Because like maybe this is because we're so close to the border that this is...
Chipotle's not a Mexican thing. That's not even Mexican. That's Tex-Mex. What are you talking about?
I was like, I don't think we have it right, Charlie. I think we need to hear the other side. And just thinking of that Chipotle and how we constantly talked about the glistening tomatoes afterwards is just one of my favorite Charlie moments. Like he was just very, very funny. Very,
very dumb. You never had a conversation like that. Come on. Chipotle's Tex-Mex. Like, come on. Where was founded? Denver, Colorado. I mean, come on. Actually, it's funny. The first time I ever ate at any type of Chipotle was in Denver, Colorado. Huh. I didn't know that was a local Denver thing. Interesting. Never knew
aware of
that.
himself, really could make fun of himself, which we're both like that. We just don't take
So technically, I guess it's not Tex-Mex. It would be Colmex? Mexico for Colorado. Mexico. There we go. I solved it. It's Mexico.
ourselves too seriously. And yeah, I think just his sense of
Sign
humor.
of a wise person,
Yeah.
and he was. And I didn't know him personally, but I'll take
Neither did Candace. It's okay. I just don't believe Candace's stories at all anymore. Like, I really have no reason to believe her with the amount of lies she's put out. I mean, it sucks because some of these stories could be touching. Like, her just remembering this, I wouldn't have a problem with, going, oh, yeah, it's just, how am I supposed to believe any story now, though? Every single thing that comes out of Candace's mouth for me just seems so spiteful, angry, hateful, evil. And I hate that because some of these stories are probably real. Some of these stories are probably heartfelt, but I just don't know now. I just don't know. It's like she's lied way too much. It's burned the credibility. So it kind of sucks because I don't mind having fun with a bunch of stories, especially if they are true, but now it's just like, yeah, she had to type an email out to prove it. That's good. That's so quick. That's funny, Envil. That is Envy. That's so funny. Good on you for that one.
I'll tell you something that happened to me when he died. I've never said this before, ever. I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I never met Charlie Kirk.
I'm sorry, lady, but you just said that like 3 seconds ago, so forgive me if I have to rewind you there and prove that. No, that's not her point. But that was funny, though. I've never said this before. 3 seconds after I said I've never met Charlie Kirk. I've never met Charlie Kirk. Okay, I'll stop screwing around, guys. I'm sorry.
And he came to me in my dream, which was weird. And I was
Yeah, that would be a weird thing to do. Okay, I'm not going to I don't need to make that kind of joke out of it. Never mind.
worried because I was like, I don't think I'm doing enough for this investigation because, I don't only work on Charlie Kirk. I work on multiple other things. So it's like I've got a small team and I'm like, I don't think I'm doing enough. There's so much smoke in here and I have to like maybe try harder. So I go to sleep and he comes to me and I don't know, you tell me if that's like Charlie. He hugs me for some reason, smiles.
This is creepy. Listen, guys, I have... it's all new to me, okay? I converted to Christianity. It was in Tulsa, and I was cleaning at the time with my... Well, I don't want to say that. But I was doing a cleaning job at the time at a church. And I don't even know if I've ever told you guys the exact story, and it's actually crazy. So... Let me, yeah, I don't want to show any of that. Tuck that down. There we go. My bookmark happens to be my voter registration card. And that has all my personal info on it. That's awesome, huh? Up here in the top part here. Oh, I pushed it down pretty far. It's like that right there. I don't know if you guys can even see it. That. Yep. Anyway, but intelligent of me to do, right? Anyway, long story short, I don't know why I had it in me, but I was cleaning a church, okay, specifically Salvation Army. And I'm not going to say anything bad about the people that were running the church, but they weren't very nice people. I can tell you that. They were not very nice at all. They were very, very, very rude all of the time. And I'm not going to say why. I'm not going to say anything else about them because it really doesn't matter, okay? Long story short, I was walking through the back area, and I happened to see a Bible, okay? As you do in churches. There's thousands of them. But this one was placed directly in the middle of a table, right next to a piano. And, of course, I usually sit down on the piano and I kind of play it a little bit just because I don't get that much opportunity. And I glanced over and I saw it there on the little table and I was like, God, if you're real, give me a sign. And I bought exactly, I was like, this is weird. So, I literally said, what Bible should I buy in order to start reading? Give me a sign. And I saw this exact Bible. Now, I bought this one on Amazon. And I read the inside cover. Apparently, I'm not supposed to buy this on Amazon because these are always supposed to be given away for free because it's a Gideon, okay? Gideon's in here. And the reason why this was so weird is I said, give me a sign of what Bible I should buy. Or what I should get to read. And when I opened the page, I didn't even know this was a guy in the Bible. So I look at this, it's the Gideon, placed by the Gideons. And I opened it up, and it was the story of Gideon. First page. And I was like, that's actually crazy. That's crazy. I just read it, and the very first word I saw was Gideon, and I was like, does Gideon appear a lot in the Bible? No, it does not. It appears there. And I was like, that's wild. So immediately I went and bought one. And I was like, okay, that's good enough for me. Now, is that the craziest way to be like, okay, God's real? No. It's very, very much like, that could easily be chalked up as coincidence. But it was crazy to me. it was at least crazy enough for me to be like, okay, this is the one I need to get. So I bought it in the same color and everything. Exact same. I wanted to make sure I got the exact same one because I was like, okay, clearly I got to get this. So that's why I've been, before I even I don't know, I got to read this whole thing front to back before I even get other ones. Like I have the chrome one, the monochrome one up there of the New Testament. I'm going to get the monochrome one of the Old Testament. And I'll probably study in those because they're much bigger words and they're both split up into 2 books. Both of them the size of this book. But of course, this is New and Old Testament versus one that's this size that's just New Testament and one that's just size of Old Testament. So it'll be a much easier read. And it's white lettering on black paper, which is so nice. But that being said, I know I have to read this one front to back before I can do anything else because this was the one that got me into it. It's just a crazy little story. But all that being said, I've been reading very, very, very slowly. And I have been doing prayer. And all that being said, I've even literally prayed on the whole Charlie Kirk thing and asked for info and stuff like that. And I have never once, ever had Charlie Kirk come to me in a dream. And from what I understand, that's not supposed to happen. That's like divination, apparently. I don't think, maybe God comes in dreams, but does he send loved ones in dreams? Maybe I just haven't read that far. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's supposed to be the case. But I could be wrong. But all these people having the exact same dream about Charlie Kirk, and they all seem to be lying? It's fishy to me. It's fishy to me. But maybe I read in the Bible that God sends your loved ones in a dream to communicate. I don't know if that's in there or not, but maybe I get there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Just curious. You know what I mean? Just curious to think what you all think about that. Anyway, let's go ahead and watch this, I know my it was very, very, very little that caused me to, it seems like it was little. You should have, when you're in the middle of a dark building by yourself and you ask for a sign and a sign shows up, it usually makes your heart skip a beat, no matter what it is. And even if you look back on it and you're like, that could have just been coincidence, but still, it was eerie to me. Not eerie, it wasn't creepy. It was just like, I couldn't believe what I had asked for was there. And clearly it was get the Gideon one. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. But maybe that was just a sign of, maybe that was just kind of the sign of it doesn't matter which Bible it is, just pick up a Bible. But when I was like, what one's the right Bible? And I saw the one by Gideon's, and then Gideon popped up. It was like, just grab that one. And I guess it was like, okay. Now, this isn't the one from the church. I did buy this on Amazon. And then I flipped open the book, and apparently it was, let's see, what was it? It's somewhere in here on the front pages or something, or maybe it was the back page, that they're not supposed to sell this book. And it was for sale on Amazon. Because the Gideons apparently, literally, they don't want you to buy these. They want to hand them to you. They're free. So, sorry, it was only $12. But clearly I, went against their wishes. I feel bad for that, because I'm sure the Gideon family is like, no, they're free. Don't buy them. You know what I mean? So I just feel bad for that, because I don't want to disrespect them, because they're nice enough to go around and give them out for free. You know what I mean? So just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, sorry about the weird ranting, guys. It's just, I don't know. I've never told that story on here before.
And he's like, you're doing just fine. I never knew him personally, but he was smiling and he hugged me and he's like, you're doing just fine. So I remember just asking him who killed you? So I did. I was like, who killed you? That would be easier to tell me, who killed you? And you know what he said? He said, the same people that killed JFK.
Okay. So he just doesn't give you a name at all. He wouldn't even bother actually helping you out in your dream. Yeah, no. That's silly. That's absolutely silly. Now, who are the people that ended up ending JFK? And then she's like, "Oh, really? Yeah, this is such. I'll put myself here. There we go. There. I'm the center of attention. Heck yeah, I'll be your cover up your make him a sandwich. Make him a sandwich great again. How about that?
Wow, you had this in your dream.
In a dream. I
Wow.
woke up at 4 a.m. and texted my friend, she's also my producer, texted my friend and I was like, I just had Charlie Kirk tell me this in
I bet you anything she doesn't have that text anymore somehow and she can't show it.
my dream.
Wow.
And yeah, well, obviously it's not the same people because they are all dead, but you know what he meant. And I usually don't believe in dreams, but it was so unusual for me to dream about somebody I never met. And maybe someone can say like, it's because of, your imagination, you were worried that you were not doing enough. And, it could be that you're imagining, but.
For me, I have so much of this world is built around wanting people not to have the confidence to go with their gut. And I realize that it's all about don't trust your intuition, don't believe your dreams, don't think you can follow your dreams. This is actually one of the reasons why I was such a big Kanye fan, because I felt like in his...
Oh, yes, she is Russian? I don't know. She seems to be going a little slow to me. Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop.
music, he sort of like gave us the code. That's why he was so hated. He refused to be put into a box. And so I have had dreams that have become true. Like I demonstrated that on my show, where literally the day that my former executive producer got pregnant, I had the clearest dream, and they were like trying to get pregnant for a while. The clearest dream, it was a boy. I knew exactly when he was going to be born. I told her that the next day, and she was like, well, no. And then she found out about a week later that she was pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there proof on the channel? Did you record this? Did this happen live? Is there any evidence? Because I'm sure you could just pay your producer however much money, for her to say yes.
And she wrote me and was like, this really freaks me out. And my sisters have had that every single time one of me and my sisters is pregnant. One of us has a very clear dream of the sex of the baby, when the baby's going to be born. And so this whole idea that your dreams don't mean anything, sometimes they don't. Like sometimes I watch a scary movie and then I have a scary dream. And so it can be impacted by that. But there is a difference. And when you know that a dream didn't feel like a dream, right?
Yeah, no, you're full of crap. I am an active dreamer. Very, very active dreamer. Very, very rarely can I even ever control my dreams, though. I dream every single night vividly. A lot of the times I end up having crazy nightmares. I hate it. It sucks, but, things happen. But I literally cannot control my dreams at all. It is crazy, and I have tried. I've went to bed with the mindset of doing it. I've tried everything, and sometimes every now and then I'll realize it's a dream, and I'll be able to mess around in the dream for just a bit, and then I'll wake up, So it's unfortunate. I wish I was that kind of active dreamer where, like, I could control them, but I can't. But I dream very actively every single night. Sorry, I just don't buy your crap, Candace. I really don't. I doubt you have any supernatural powers. You have no way to prove it whatsoever. So, I mean, I don't know. This makes her sound like a lunatic.
You wake up and you go, I wasn't thinking about this topic, or I never thought of this person in this way.
And also keep this in mind too. This is the same person who said she could not even bring herself to jump off a cliff in a VR headset because she just could not distinguish reality from the VR reality. I guess or the VR video game. She couldn't distinguish reality out of it. So I just think that she's so full of it. I think her brain is broken.
Andrew Colbert being one of them. Never thought about Andrew Colbert in that way ever. So I didn't go to bed going, I wonder if Andrew
come
Colbert... No,
on.
I fully trusted Andrew Colbert at the beginning of this. I knew Andrew
You're having weird dreams about Andrew Colbert. I've never thought of him like that before. Come on.
Colbert. I had no reason not to trust Turning Point.
You're married.
At that moment. And that dream shook me. So I hope that people listening to this just know that they build this entire system not to get you, because they want you not to trust your intuition. Your intuition, there's so much more that we will never know. Things are metaphysical, and that's why we're on people. Hell is real. They know it's real. And I think that there was something about...
Yeah, I bet you've experienced it a couple times.
The Charlie Kirk assassination that made people realize that demons are real.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people who were atheists who aren't feeling so atheistic today.
Yeah. And that's why I was like so confused, because Charlie was not my friend. It would make sense if he came to you talking, So he's just one of the cases. I've been on multiple other cases when people die.
They don't know who they is. They really don't. It's just whatever keeps this conspiracy and the money flowing. That's it.
and I feel like, okay, something's off here, and I worked with detectives, and I was so shocked. But then, and only then, I started kind of putting parallels between JFK and his assassination, and I think that they are very similar in many ways.
Of course they are.
Do you agree?
Absolutely.
No, I don't. Because with JFK, the way the bullet traveled was a magic bullet. There's no way he was shot with that bullet because of the trajectory, where it bounced around, went all around, and did magical loop-de-loops and stuff like that. Not to mention, it was clear that he wasn't just hit with one single shot as well. So, I mean, it's very, very, very crazy, right? And then, on top of all of that, Charlie's shot came from the direction exactly where he was looking. The placement was directly in front of him from a very, very, very easy place. Do you know how many snipers have tried to replicate, oh God, what's his name? I keep wanting to say Timothy McVeigh now. It's not Timothy McVeigh, obviously. What is his name? Oh my gosh. Shoot. What is his name? Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald. So, Lee Harvey Oswald. Literally, making that shot was impossible. Many snipers tried. Many skilled snipers, even today, tried making that shot. And were not skilled enough to. It's just, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? When you try to replicate the results, you can't. With Charlie, it wouldn't be a challenge to replicate that directly in front of him, 140 yards away. Every single sniper that tries it is going to land the mark. Without a doubt. That's kind of the big difference, you know what I mean? Hello, Escobar. Hey. Hello, Christopher. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Soul. Alrighty. Hello, Mackenzie. Let's get into this. Hello, Pit Pack.
Absolutely, they are. And I do believe that the same players are
Please
involved.
switch.
Not something that I believed in the beginning, but following this investigation, obviously, right away, I think what made people look up and wonder what's going on here was just Bibi Netanyahu's little press tour. This is not normal. You can't normalize these things and pretend that it's okay. There have been other elements.
He didn't
of
go on a
course,
press
even
tour.
Messaging,
the messaging
right
right
in the
away.
public, like you go against us. There you go. This is what you get.
The lie.
Yeah.
The unnecessary lie
Yeah.
and the anger that they have toward people who are trying to figure out what happened. A turning point being upset with Joe Kent. That was beyond weird for trying to investigate foreign involvement. Erica making a joke about foreign involvement.
Nobody ever got mad at Joe Kent for that. What they got mad at was his baseless accusations. That's what was upsetting. What they got mad at with you was the baseless accusations. Saying that somebody did this when you don't have any proof that somebody else did this. That's kind of a problem. I don't mind questioning it, but it's the statements statements that you make. There are no stupid questions, but there are definitely stupid statements. And you all made a lot of stupid statements.
We don't why is she not concerned about Egyptian planes? Even if it turned out that it was nothing.
Can you, I'm concerned with the Egyptian planes. Can you go ahead and release those flight logs, Candace, like you promised? December 16th?
And really, they just came into town to change, some parts. And for whatever reason, the Egyptian Air Force just can't find any place. She's not concerned.
Well, she's mocking it.
That's
mocking why I was like, she came out, what show was it on Fox News? Of course, Fox News became a mouthpiece of TPUSA, at least that's how I see it. If you check out their social media, probably 8 out of 10 would be TPUSA stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, since when are we doing this, people? Mm-hmm. Even when Charlie was there, we were not doing that. Fox News was not an active mouthpiece of TPUSA. Now it is. Mm-hmm. So she comes out and she mocks specifically Egyptian planes.
Mm-hmm. It was she was told to do it.
Right.
If my husband...
Why did you take the Egyptian flight logs down? Why did you walk all it back? And why did you not release them December 16th like you promised? Why did you do all that? Now you all are talking about Egyptian planes, but yet you won't go back over them again. That's really funny how that works.
And God forbid anything ever happened to him. And the story didn't make any sense. And then I find out that my husband, who had real enemies and who was turning his back on Israel the day before. We thought that message was September 8th. We then learned it was September 9th, where he said, I'm abandoning the Israeli cause. And then I see...
When did you get a date for that properly? And why don't you release all the rest of the text messages on it?
that there's an Egyptian Air Force. I'm going to be like, hey, I'm going to be getting in touch with Joe Kemp myself and Tulsi Gabbard and saying, we need to investigate this. She doesn't care. She does not care.
That's the message
and
I get.
to be so aloof about that is why people are rightly examining her, right? You have every right to look at this woman.
You haven't even shown me that she's been aloof on it. You haven't shown me at all.
And say, you aren't acting right. You are offering a bonus and a raise to Dan Flood.
Oh, this is the white girl over there is Candace Owens' clone. Has her same hair and everything. And also the same dream as her. She literally had the same Charlie Kirk dream as her. She just said that. I'm not kidding.
Where is your
rage?
rage?
That he literally failed in protecting your husband. So why are you doing that?
And even if it was misplaced anger.
Right.
Even if Erica was angry at everyone, we would expect
Lane,
that.
yeah.
And that's why I compared it to Vanessa Bryant. Her husband died in a real tragic accident.
Right.
She wanted everybody's head. She wanted to, and she did sue the helicopter company. She sued TMZ for publishing the photos. She didn't let anyone into her. Her speech, which I encourage people to go watch when they did a memorial for Kobe Bryant. There were no fireworks. They did it at Lakers. It was so personal. She told stories that nobody knew about him. And her general demeanor, wearing all black, there is a difference here that people are noticing. And you're not going to be able to gaslight us into thinking that all of that is normal.
Again, her shaming her because she's not grieving right. That's great. Hey, Candace, since you joked about Charlie Kirk's death to her, saying, oh, I'm going to ask her why she killed her husband. Haha, joking, LOL. You weren't grieving right either. So don't tell me how somebody should grieve.
Absolutely. So what really shocked me is that she never once showed up in court. Never once, Candace. Like, you do not want to look at...
Never once has she showed up in court, even though court hasn't happened. Wow, amazing. Actually, I needed to remove this. I'm keeping this on for dust. Ah, there we go. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. She's not showing up to court. These are pre-trials. Tyler Robinson's also not showing up to court. He's literally doing them via video. You realize that, right? The pre-trial doesn't start until later. She might show up for the pre-trial. She's definitely going to be there for the trial. There's no point in her showing up to court right now. Absolutely none.
A person who supposedly killed your husband? Just look at him. I mean, just look at the guy. I'm not saying be angry at him. We get it. You forgave him. We heard all. Yeah. But you don't want to look at him in court?
There's just a general aloofness, lack of involvement.
Yeah.
There has been no court. There have been, what would you even call them? Hearings. There's been no court. It's been a hearing. Pre-trial hearings. And then the actual pre-trial begins. What would it be? Pre-trial? Pre-trial begins in June. Or is it July now? We'll figure it out, but it's not this month. There's no point in her showing up to that. You guys are really, really unintelligent.
And of course, the notorious Zoom calls. 6 days after your husband's assassination, you're giggling about emojis. How are you out of bed? How is it?
Well, it wasn't that long after that you started joking about his death to her. Literally, haha, I'm going to ask Erica Kirk why she killed her husband, LOL. Okay. That's normal, right? Yeah, let's go talk to the grieving widow and be like, haha, your husband's dead. That's a normal thing to do, okay.
Possible that he was like a brother to me, and he wasn't my husband. He wasn't the father of my children, and yet I couldn't get out of bed. I was destroyed. I couldn't. We're supposed to.
Me. LOL. You murdered your husband. Joking.
Believe this is just the strength of a godly woman. That's what you guys are going to try to sell to us.
Yeah, and the godly woman who's so strong, Candace, is somehow bothered by you and others.
Right.
I thought she was very strong.
The Drewski skit. That's what really upset her.
Yeah.
Tyler Robinson murdering her husband. We can get by.
Yeah.
We can forgive him. But Drewski mocking her.
That was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that is. I do not forgive you, Drewski.
She never said anything like that. She never even said anything to Drewski or responded to it. The most she did was like, I don't know, what was it, like a week ago? She was like, people dressing up in whiteface mocking me. And then that's all she said. That's it. She said, yeah, there's people out there. I'm getting ridiculed left and right. There's a guy in whiteface that's mocked me. And that was it. She never said anything else about Drewski at all. Never mentioned him once. Never called him by name. Never said whether it was good or bad. She's never talked about it. And then Candace just headcanon here. Oh, she's really mad at Drewski. Any proof?
So I will dive into Erica Kirk and I'll ask you a few things. But first, I want to know, who is Candace Owens? Because Candace, you know this, like they are like wolves. They are waiting for you to sleep up so they can come out and, oh, people, we told you this.
I'm not waiting for her to slip up. She's already slipped open so many times. So many times. What are you talking about?
This is who she was. She's a narcissist. She's this and that. I've heard this all. But you tell me and tell them now, who's Candace Owens, truly?
Honestly, I
Don't break your arm, Candace, though. Tell us honestly.
think the best way to think of me is as my granddad's grandbaby.
Yeah, that's just a fact. Duh. What? Yeah, I'm also my granddad's grandbaby. You know, I'm also my great-great-granddad's great-great-grandbaby. I guess you could probably call me my great-great-great-great-granddad's great-great-great-great-great-grandbaby. Something like that, you know? You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, yeah.
I am a lot like my grandfather was, and you can blame my granddad. You know,
Candace Owens confirmed.
he's not here anymore, sadly, but I was definitely shaped by my grandparents early in life, and my grandfather was just forthright. It was all about God and family, and we had to study the Bible growing up. We used to live in like a roach infested apartment, super, just didn't have a lot of money. Me and my sister shared a bedroom, tiny little bedroom, and had to take out the pots and the pans when I was young, and because they had to come spray for roaches. But of course, when you're young, you don't really process your lack of wealth or anything like that.
You never grew up. You never grew up in a rough neighborhood. You never grew up without a silver spoon in your mouth. Come on.
Your kids can be happy anywhere. It's one of the great things. But a grandfather, and we couldn't afford groceries, so they would come pay and bring groceries. And we spent a lot of time with them. And my grandfather, I think when I was 8 or when I was 7, turning 8, came to our apartment and just said, I don't want my grandbabies growing up like that. And so he moved us into their house, like a more middle-class house, still a small house. My parents were in the basement. Me and my sister were in the attic, totally overfilled house. But
Candace Owens' father worked as a property manager, and her mother worked as an executive assistant. Not even kidding. Literally worked as a property manager. You know, those property managers just struggling paycheck to paycheck, And the mother worked as an executive assistant. Now, I'm sure the divorce wasn't great, after which she was primarily raised by her paternal grandparents in Stamford, Connecticut. But I'm sure they just did nothing whatsoever. Her grandfather, Robert Owens, was a significant parental figure who grew up on a sharecropping farm in the South. I mean, look, she did not grow up poor. She did not grow up poor whatsoever. It is such a farce. Come on. That is so insane to say, Candace. Grow up.
it was
Better than roaches.
better than roaches. It was great.
She
It was
was
fantastic. We felt like we made it. We loved our grandparents. And he just was.
You can just always tell. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up poor. But I did grow up in Native American housing. I remember very much so being in a very, very small apartment until I was 4 years old. Before that, we were in a trailer. And then we got a small house through the Cherokee Nation. The house was $50,000 and the monthly payments were like, I think $300 a month. It was not a big home. It was 1,200 square feet. And we lived there until I was 19 years old. So I know the kind of people who grow up poor. Every one of my friends also grew up just about equal to me or way worse off. Every one of them. So I know what poor is like. I can't get into a lot of stories that have went down, but I've seen some actual crap that Candace Owens has never even dreamed of. I guarantee you that.
Just believed he was conservative naturally. And I don't say conservative in a Republican way. I say conservative in the way that he just adored me and my sisters. I have two sisters.
Yeah, like
my brother had to be out mowing the lawn. He wanted us to be like, in dresses, and he would like hold the door for us, and he would sort of wrap us into, if we did something wrong, he would lecture us in a prayer, like, would start a prayer and then lecture us. And he just, my grandmother and my grandfather are just they were the most fantastic people, and they definitely shaped me. But granddad was stubborn. Like, he was stubborn. If you came for his family, if he felt like, something wasn't right, you would hear from him. And so
that's how it's supposed to be.
So much.
Of course, I'd never talk bad about her grandparents or anything like that. Didn't know them. They're not relevant. They're not, even if she mentions them, that does not mean that it gives me the right to talk about people who are not in the public space. Something Candace Owens should learn, by the way. Have a little bit of principle.
Like my grandfather, we even call it an Owens temper because it like flares and then you're over it. So if my granddad and me, I remember one of our, before he started, he eventually got dementia, but this notorious like kind of last fight we had where
I agree,
he was yelling at me about, I don't remember what it was, and he starts stomping on the carpet. He's like, "This is my house." Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, "You're blah, blah, blah." And literally 10 minutes later, he's like, "Hey, baby, do you want to just take me to get something to eat?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, granddad." Like flare up, flare down.
Aww.
And so they can blame my grandfather for that. I always say it was the way my grandparents loved and adored me. I think that really shaped me. And I was always different. My mother and my father would say that. I just I see it in
like kind of like alien different
in my children now. And you can see which ones are just kind of, there's a beat to their own drum that they're going to, and that's probably how it's going to be.
It's amazing. Well, I'm glad you turned out the way you did.
Guys, let's take a moment to give a shout out to our sponsors at linkkryptoira.com. Everything they told you must own it. Or they don't try and even risk qualifying. That's a answer day that
people who are on the right side now are a sizable number, and that was not the case before. And I'm very thankful to your grandpa and grandparents.
I hope people are learning the code, because there is a code here where you see it. It's all about trying to humiliate you, to blackmail you into submission, to threaten you with finances, and to get you to agree to serve Lucifer in the process.
Yeah, you would know all about that process. You should tell us more.
So many people just say yes to it. It's scary. The people that I came up with in politics, who Charlie came up with, who have turned their back on him, it sickens me. It genuinely sickens me. I can't explain to it. It makes me want to stomp on the
trust
carpet.
Trust me, I know. And so something interesting was said by Larry Loomer.
Larry Loomer.
She tried to say, well, I don't understand why so many people are so
very funny there, Mandis Browens.
Scared of this, and how it went. I'm not going to repeat that anymore. But she said it right. They are scared. Candace, they are scared. And this is why they are all over the
Who's they?
place. They are like watching your show like hawks. Maybe she makes a mistake. We are going to sue her. Like, no one is as watched as you by the enemies, and because she said it right. It was not maybe it was a Freudian slip, but they are terrified. Now, the question is, what kind of person is terrified? Are you scared?
No.
Neither am I.
Mm-mm.
You know why? Because I've got nothing to hide. And neither have you. That you don't have anything to hide. So the question is, what kind of person should be that scared? And why Larry thinks that people are scared, right?
I think what they're fearful of, it's not me. They're fearful of their own exposure.
Nobody's afraid of you, Candace. Nobody's afraid of you.
That's what it is. And they're fearful of coming across someone who they know doesn't bend the knee to money. They tried it. If I bent the knee to money, I'd be at the Daily Wire, right?
Exactly.
And so that scares them, because that's one of their mechanisms. The second thing is like, okay, well, can we blackmail this person? Can we dig through their life? Can we find something? Actually, Laura did land upon a a high school squabble that I got into. I don't care. I literally don't care. Do you want to talk about it on my podcast? I have zero shame about that. This is how it works. You go and you find something that happened when I was 17 years old, and you think that that's going to make me bend the knee to have.
Kind of like what you did going back to Erica Kirk's past and just, doing all that stuff. Candace, we never would have done any of that to you had you not done it to Erica. Come on. Literally, you just cannot handle when things are done to you that you obviously do to others. If you don't want that done to you, don't do it to someone else. It's really that simple.
Having watched Charlie Kirk be assassinated on TV, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's come on my podcast and talk about it. This is how the game works, and I'm not playing this. I am not bending the knee to Satan, okay? Because I'm fearful that you're going to dig up something about my family, about my grandparents, and I want people to learn this, right? I want people to learn this. You better faster be willing to come in front of the world and spill all your dirt than to buy yourself a ticket to hell, because that is where these people are going who did this to Charlie Kirk. I am not shutting up on this. I am not going to be distracted on this. The lawsuits is meant to be.
You have been nothing but distracted on this the past 17 episodes where you've barely talked about any leads for anything involving Charlie. You've shown no evidence, and you keep covering mostly drama. If somebody calls you out, your first reaction is to get involved with the drama. That's the first thing you do. The very first thing you do is address the drama. And you put Charlie Kirk on the back burner every single time. Every time I have pointed this out, called you out on it, and you just keep doing it. You don't even learn from it.
About financial duress, she's now upped the game and is publishing my address everywhere. That's a psychological game. I spent 2 years studying Sigmund Freud, okay? I know how these tactics works. It's built to destroy you mentally. This is what Kanye, albeit he communicated it poorly, was trying to tell people about the Matrix, how everyone around him, he suddenly realized was fake. He woke up one day and realized his life was the Truman Show and had a breakdown about it. And they just will call you crazy, you try to dig up things that are embarrassing. And that's why Kanye notoriously got up and started saying, I got liposuction. He did this thing in TMZ. I was with him.
Fun fact for everybody, by the way. Candace Owens literally met Kanye West in September of 2017. 6 months before the famous Kanye West Candace Owens tweet that Charlie manifested.
I got liposuction, I'm insecure. Actually, his first song is about that. All Falls Down. I don't know if you know Kanye music. I could take you on a Kanye tour I did to Charlie, but there's a song, All Falls Down, and he just talks about how self-conscious he is. And he
put it all out there for everyone to see before he was, they were able to blackmail him. That's what
I'd rather be free. Yes, exactly. I had a pornography addiction. That's what he said. Yes, I did this.
Right.
My cousin stole my laptop and blackmailed me. I had to pay him. What he is doing is he's saying, I choose freedom. You can't embarrass me. I'd rather you embarrass me. I'd rather you say those things. This belongs to my life. None of us are perfect, but I'm not going to bend the knee to this.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. So another question I wanted to ask you before we move on to TPUSA is Daily Wire situation.
Yeah.
So you left Daily Wire. Well, you didn't leave Daily Wire. They fired you.
Got fired.
Yes. And since then, even though they fired you, they just cannot chill. And it is honestly, I don't know how you do it because it already disturbs me and I'm not even in this situation. I'm like a bystander.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get over it, guys. Are you serious? So what's up with this?
People will one day know every detail of what the Daily Wire put me and my family through. It is a cult masquerading as a business. It is,
You know how hard you literally defended Daily Wire against Steven Crowder, though? Oh, man, you were licking their boots. It's kind of weird how that works. And then Steven Crowder wants to come out and defend you, or debate you, and you literally turned down $60,000 to run away from him. And they're like, oh, I'll debate him, I'll debate anybody in my studio. It's just such a farce. It's such a farce, Candace. You didn't want to go meet up with TPUSA. You didn't want to debate Steven Crowder. You don't want to debate anybody else at all, but you pretend like you'll have him over in your studio. It's just it's so annoying.
Come actually from the private equity world. So I worked at a real business prior to getting into politics. I worked for 4 years at a private equity firm in New York City. And I cannot explain to you. This is a cult. You get fired, it's over. You can send it in an email. People don't build stages, gather around all of the other slaves and watch them hang you and prepare a video, as Jeremy Boring did, to show everybody. 15 minutes ago, we sent Candace an email and we fired her, and he starts playing clips of Nick Fuentes in this.
He starts playing literally everything that you violated in the contract. But why didn't he do this to Brett Cooper? If you get fired, oh no, it's the end of the world for sure, except for the fact that nothing happened with Brett Cooper the way you said it would be. You also told Steven Crowder that Brett Cooper would never get screwed over by the Daily Wire also. Why is it now you're saying she got screwed over by the Daily Wire? Which one is it? Which one was it? Were you lying then on Tim Pool's show? Or are you lying now on your show? Just curious, because at some point you definitely had to have lied because you flipped sides completely. And before you said that was impossible, that was never going to happen, and the Daily Wire didn't do things like that. It's really weird. It's really, really bizarre, Candace.
Glorious town hall. That's not how you fire people to get started. Then to drag people through the court systems, and I am now vehemently against what is the arbitration, because now I understand what this is. It allows people who possess characteristics of sociopathic killers to just stalk you. They can just keep bringing you back into court over and over and over and over and over again over every little infraction that is meant to psychologically and financially wear you down. This is what the Daily Wire did to me. And when I say every little infraction, I mean it can be in their head. It doesn't have to be real. They per your contract can drag you into court. So that was the next 2 years of my life, was fighting them in arbitration court for things that I didn't do. I did not do these things. I will say the one thing I did do that I was guilty of, and actually, if we had made it to the hearing, I was going to admit, I did an episode defending Brett Cooper, and I stand by that. I don't need to lie to you. I owe you $300K because you harassed her, and I have a backbone. Yeah, I will gladly ding me. I will pay you $300K.
Just out of curiosity, though, can you prove that harassment?
$100K for standing up for a 22-year-old girl. And you know what? When this filing's over, I'm going to frame it and tell my kids that money's not everything.
So good. This is why people love you so much. You are
apparently money's not everything, but you know what's even like less than that? Keeping your word, keeping your agreements, signing your contract. Like, don't sign a contract if you're not willing to agree to it. How about that?
Are just not only not afraid, but people can be stupidly not afraid and go for the wrong thing. No, you're like, no, there's much more things to this life than your own ass, money, and we're I love it. I love it.
I made a conscious decision because I was watching them begin to do to her, who she does not have she's not involved in the Israel-Palestine debate. Like, it's just not what she does. She does cute pop culture stuff.
It's weird. I still don't see any feud between the two. I don't know.
But it's a cult. You're not allowed to leave. And so they will smear you and they want to destroy you on the way out. And so what I lived through with them, I'm actually happy now that we're at the end where people can see it publicly, because they're...
Exactly. She'll defend Brett Cooper, but attack Nick Shirley. But even still, Daily Wire's not going after her at all. I don't see Daily Wire going after Brett Cooper at all now. They don't seem to have any problems. They haven't talked about each other in a long, long time. So I don't know. Candace really should back her claim.
Just now getting a glimpse when they brought back my channels, how weird that was. I'm like, you guys have not seen anything, okay? You think that's weird, them bringing back my social channels.
And show us, Candace, show us. Apparently money's not everything, so you got nothing to lose. Show us.
Doing, I think, Jeremy's show, we actually counted. He's done 19 episodes, 17 have been about me and Tucker. Like, okay, this is not a show.
I wonder how many episodes you have of, let's see here. Let's just see what we got here. We'll go to just live here, and we'll type in Erica. Oh, yep. Let's see, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see. Okay, now we're at 15. Actually, here, let's scroll down more. How many episodes do you have just directly referencing Erica? Okay, well, you got 15 episodes about Erica. Okay. How about just TPUSA? You've got 10. She's got 10 episodes of TPUSA. How about of Ben? You've got 4 episodes on Ben Shapiro. At a bare minimum. right? I don't think there's any more, right? Okay, so you got 4 on Ben Shapiro. How about Daily Wire? Okay, you got 5 episodes on Daily Wire. So I'm going to go ahead and count that as like 9. How about like, who else does she have a problem with, guys? Not Michael Knowles, not, Jeremy Boring. Let's see, Jeremy. You've got 2 episodes on Jeremy Boring specifically. Matt Walsh. Has she done anything on Matt Walsh? Oh, Matt Gates. Okay, Matt Gates. Yeah, you've got quite a bit of episodes. I'd say you'd have collectively more episodes about Daily Wire, Jeremy Boring, and Ben Shapiro than they've ever done on you. You've done way more episodes on Erica Kirk than those 9 episodes you're talking about there, too. That's how many she said, right? Like 9?
This is episodes 17 have been about me and Tucker.
Okay, 17 have been about you and Tucker. So let's split it down the middle. And that's, let's see. That'd be 15 and a half videos apiece. So I'll say they've done 16 about, oh wait, no, that doesn't make any sense at all. What am I thinking? Not 15 and a half, that'd be 8 and a half apiece. How do we, yeah, 8 and a half apiece. Just say 9 videos on you and 9 videos on Tucker then. Right? 9 videos on you, 9 videos on Tucker. You've done 15 about Erica Kirk. You've done a collective of like 15 videos between Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, and Jeremy Boring. I'd say it's about even. I would say it's about even. When you bring out those things, it sounds to me like they're back and forths. But you don't like it when people respond to you. You want to do a video and then it be over and them to lay in their bed. That's your problem. But then you get mad whenever they respond back. Mama Owlbear for the 10 says, Brett Cooper has been back on the Daily Wire since she left? Oh, I didn't know that, actually. Also, Jeremy or a guest mentioning Candace or Tucker doesn't mean the whole episode is about them. She's delusional. Yeah, agreed. But I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I'll say they have done that much. It's still not as much as she has done about Daily Wire, TPUSA, and Erica Kirk. Ben Shapiro, and I mean, she's done way more episodes on them than they've done about her. And she just cannot bring herself to understand that. That's psychotic. Thank you so much, Mama Owlbear. You're amazing. Thank you.
Okay, this is not a show.
These people are obsessed.
This is more stalking, and the same lawyers.
They have never stopped. Making a video about you, Candace, is not stalking. Otherwise, you would be stalking them.
That sued me for those 2 years is now Brian Harpole's lawyer. I know how this works. I get it. I understand what is happening.
Yeah.
And if
The
I have to
machine,
be the
it's a machine.
person to demonstrate to people how this whole thing works, if my life has to go through it, I'm built for it. That's
Right.
fine. Let the whole system crash and burn so that you can see it's all illusory, and
Absolutely.
that they can target and bankrupt and destroy people because they want to and they're a part of the machine. To me, this is like the Sentinels versus the human beings.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. They are obsessed to
Way to dehumanize every single person you disagree with, Candace, and every person you've harassed. That's so disgusting.
the point where I actually bet money with my friend that I was going to put out a post about Tucker. And I was like, just give it like a few hours. Lara Loomer will show up and do something. I won. I was like, this is how predictable you got. This is how predictable you are. I want money by betting on this. Like, are you crazy?
They hate Tucker with the same viciousness. And that
Yes.
started when I was at the Daily Wire. So I was
You're the one who started the attacks on these people. You were the one who cast the first stone, Candace. Be prepared to get them back. They're going to throw them right back at you.
aware. It was very strange because I've always liked Tucker. Tucker has always been good to me. And I mean, for years, before I worked for the Daily Wire, I was doing Tucker Carlson's show weekly, like every Tuesday. I kind of had to be on there. And Tucker, I forgot, Fox News will do this thing where they put people on ice. You can get like temporarily banned for something. And there was something I said that they put me temporarily, like banned me from Fox News. Tucker Carlson, don't care. He's the number one show. I'll have her every time. He like stood by me. And so little things like that, you get to see someone's character. I didn't know him personally. I actually met Tucker Carlson. I have the video. Charlie introduced me to him, and I was sent it to Tucker actually the other week as I was going through my videos with Charlie, and I was like, only person I want to meet in politics is Tucker Carlson. And so he filmed it, and he's like, hey, Tucker, want you to meet Candace. So that's who he is behind the scenes, where if he thinks that something is wrong or that they've done you wrong, he's willing to stand up to the big guy, right? He's standing up to Fox News and saying, I'm going to still have Candace on my show every Tuesday. I don't care if you don't like what she said about COVID or whatever it was, prevailing narrative of the day. But they have similarly been obsessed with Tucker. And I don't know why. Tucker has done nothing to
because
them.
both of you are good. I mean, look at this, Candace. You have everything that a person should strive forward, right? Like, and look for. Like, you're a wife, you're a mother, you're young, you have business, you're happy, and you have your faith. Now, the same goes with Tucker. Tucker is a guy who never cheated on his wife, who's not going to. And I think that kills Lara Loomer. But, it's just how it is. And he's got everything a normal American should dream for and strive for and all of that. And I think they are jealous. And they are jealous that you guys are loved by people, and they are not.
Yeah.
They're not.
And I think it's also Tucker, and why I've always been a fan of his, is when he sort of told his whole story on Theo.
Good Lord. Like, I get it. I get it. You like Tucker Carlson. I get it. You're not going to mention any of his, like, absolute defense of Islam, because I guess you agree with Islam now. But yeah, Tucker only does good. Everyone else is just evil. No nuance in the middle whatsoever. It's just great.
On about his alcoholism and, like, his wake-up moment of realizing
Oh, wow. And he's got, like, severe, like, drug abuse problems. I'm sure he's over all that, too.
hate that. They hate that. They want you to try to pretend that you are perfect and you've never made a mistake. No, you've made mistakes. Like, you have, like, I'm like, guys, we can go back and we can find the files. You want the Candace files? I'll give them to you. That's what I'm doing on my podcast.
You think it's normal for people to make mistakes like that, like, on the average? Like, to be on such, like, a crazy binge while you're famous and stuff like that? I mean, I guess that's kind of normal. Rock stars do it all the time. But I don't know. To me, that just dings your credibility. It means you are incapable of controlling yourself. That's my whole point.
It's every day. I'm not perfect. And by the way, I'm going to make more mistakes. There is going to be, I right now have 4 children in this world. They're going to then be teenagers. They're going to make mistakes. And I'm going to do my best to protect them and guide them.
4 children? What? With a gay man?
Yeah, with a gay homosexual gangster, mind you. It's a lot happening. He's both a rap gangster, gun brandishing.
Hey, it was Milo Yiannopoulos, your best buddy, that made those rumors. Candace, how about you take it up with him? It's kind of funny how that works, too. Mackenzie Moore for the 10. I never knew what my fiance meant when he said he was good in a good chat till now. Thanks, Artie. The live chat is so fun. Our club is better than their club. We are the Truth Club, the cool kids. Absolutely. Thank you. Wait, does your fiance's in here? Is he in this chat? Wait, which one is he? Point him out for me if he is. Or did you mean like he's got another chat that he's really good in with, and now you found your chat? Either or. Very happy to hear that. Thank you so much for that. That's very kind. But if there's a couple in the chat, hey, be kind of cool to know. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for that super chat. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, but he also is gay, Oxford. It's a lot going on.
He just has 4 kids, though.
Part of the Bullington Club. Yeah. Okay. The Bale Club, I should call it.
Oh,
but it's always the immediate attack. They go for the family because they know that that's where the strength is. Like, that's where the rock is. And when your family is good. And
no, that's cool, though.
We love being...
You're awesome, Mackenzie.
We love being parents. We didn't know that we would love it this much. You never know. And children are just such a joy. They're so funny. I mean, I could tell you every day the things that come out of their mouths as they're grappling with things. And a lot of these people don't know that joy because they're searching for something that is so empty. Like trying to get into Mar-a-Lago. Wow, guys.
Well, tell your husband that so he stops drunk driving. You know what I mean? I don't want any accidents to happen. I don't want him to hurt anybody. But the fact that he did that, the fact we got the full police report, and you're still not, like, at all coming out with it, you're not acknowledging it or anything like that, like, that's a dangerous thing, and I don't want your kids to be around that. Now, I'm not going to say anything about your kids whatsoever. Kids are an absolute joy. I know. Father of 2 little girls. They're the best things that have ever happened to me, and I'm hoping I can be lucky enough to either have a 3rd and or a 4th. You know what I mean? But we'll have to see what, the future holds. At the end of the day, look, you can't be putting yourself in those dangerous situations like that, Candace, and you shouldn't be letting your husband do it either. That's just my opinion.
It's really kind of gaudy. The food's not that good. Right? I remember the first time I was like, this is it. And then I got there and I was like,
outside.
It's like, all right.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. And that's why they're so miserable. And most of their work, instead of actually working on something meaningful, is trashing others. And people started saying it. That's why like Daily Wire is losing people because they don't want to watch this every single day. They are sick of it. So real quick, before we move on, when you first met Ben Shapiro, what was your reaction? Like, what was your analysis of the person?
I first met him with Charlie. It was another one of my favorite Charlie moments.
Okay.
Samurai says have 7 so you can have a mini army. We'll see about that. Oh, that'd be cool.
Shared it, but it was, any person when they first got into the industry around that time, you actually looked up to Ben because this was when he was going viral with the clips. And
now she's going to make a size joke on him, right? Let's see it.
Charlie and I were just started, so we had all these messages that I could show you. We were like, oh, it's so cool. Like Ben, I was like, I think Ben followed me on something. I don't remember what it was. And then, like every person in politics, you get to know Ben, and that things change very quickly. And so it was the Kanye tweet. Anything up before April 2018, we were like, great, it'd be great to work with Ben. And then after the
the Kanye tweet that you had set up 6 months beforehand when you met Kanye in September of 2017. But yeah, I would like to meet Ben Shapiro. I promise you guys, if I ever get to meet Ben Shapiro, have a conversation with him or anything like that, I will report back and I will see if he is anything like Candace claims. I will guarantee that. One of these days, guys, I would like to meet Ben Shapiro. I want to see. He seems like he's a fine guy. He's pretty quick, witty, funny. Maybe he is a jerk behind the scenes. I don't know. But Candace is the only person I've seen truly have a problem with Ben Shapiro.
Kanye tweet.
Let me see who else
he's a very jealous and envious person. And rather than going, how can we work together? How do we make things bigger? You end up finding out that he's working behind the scenes and telling people not to work with you. And this is going to be a mistake.
So let's see who's had a feud with him. Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Piers Morgan, Steven Crowder, and Nick Fuentes. Okay. Now they're like notable people to a degree. Bill Burr, who is just an idiot, so who cares? And then Alex Jones, but that's only because Shapiro criticized Jones following a conflict with Donald Trump's inner circle. I don't know. It wasn't very public. But the other people are all on the same side except for Steven Crowder. And Steven Crowder had only a problem with the Daily Wire contract. Okay? I don't even think Steven Crowder has any beef with Ben Shapiro today. So that's a much shorter list than Candace Owens. Candace Owens has burnt her bridge with TPUSA. She burnt her bridge with Charlie Kirk. She burnt her bridge with a vast majority of creators, all of Daily Wire. She did it with all of PragerU. She's burnt her bridges with, just about every single person. I don't think there's really very many people left outside of Tucker, Megyn Kelly, and who else is it? Tucker, Megyn Kelly, and Fuentes-ish, but she beefs with Fuentes, who's on her side, which is hilarious, right? She beefs with people on her own side. Hilarious, too. Look at the people that she's roasted. Look at who's the guy that, Bednar's. Whoever that Bednar's guy is. He's on Candace Owens' side, and she's beefing with him. It's actually next level crazy, right? Next level crazy. She beefed with Tree of Logic. She beefed with Blair White. She beefed with who else did she beef with back in the day? She beefed with Andy Worski, of course, but I guess who hasn't? That's fair. He's the blood sports guy, and he's done a lot of crazy drug stuff. She's beefed with the Quartering. She's beefed with I think she's beefed with Sargon of Akkad. Let me see. So Ben Shapiro has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people that he's beefed with. Now let's see. Candace Owens. Here we go. Erica Kirk at TPUSA, Ben Shapiro, Tim Pool, Cardi B, Bridget McCrone, T.I., Harry Styles. Let's open up the list here a bit. Let's see. Okay. Now we're going to see. So, of course, Ben Shapiro, Erica Kirk, Laura Loomer, Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron, obviously, Kimberly Klasick, Cardi B, Harry Styles, Dave Chappelle, T.I., Lizzo, Andrew Tate, Tim Pool. I mean, it's a huge list of people. Piers Morgan, she's beefed with. She's beefed with Dennis Prager. She's beefed with Steven Crowder. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I bet you guys could add a lot of people to that list. I mean, it is crazy how often Candace Owens, I mean, she's beefing with Trump. She's beefing with Mark Levin. She beefs with, she beefs with so many people, I can't keep track of them all. It's crazy. Like, just Jordan Peterson, yeah, that's true too. Yeah, just keep listing people, guys, because this is funny.
And she shouldn't be speaking to Kanye, and you don't know what Kanye means to people like me. You don't pretend to understand the culture, at all.
I'm not gonna pretend the culture. It's not like, I don't know. I just don't like unskilled music. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna trash people's music. I'm not saying that it sounds bad or anything like that. I'm not saying it doesn't groove. I'm just not an unskilled music guy. I like music for musicians. You know what I mean? So it kind of goes beyond your culture.
Understand, like, I wouldn't be in this circumstance if it wasn't for.
I'm not being snarky about it. I just like
giving me the courage
music
to know.
Built up like classical music, even in metal form. I love metal music, but my favorite metal music is like neoclassical. It's folk metal, things that have insane orchestrations and just epic guitar shreddy stuff. You know what I mean? You have to really know what you're doing. Oh yeah, Blake Lively, she had yeah, that's right. Dan Bongino, Cash Patel. Yeah, I mean, her beef it's just insane. Adam on PBD, that's true. PBD in general, actually. Yeah, Kanye West also disowned her, too. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, she's not a musician. She has no idea what music is. She could not tell you a single note off the top of her head. She couldn't hit that note and tell you what that note is. It's crazy,
There are so many kids growing up in crappy communities that are hearing someone say, you can break through, you can break through, you can be your own Superman and get out of this thing. And
Race, I'll tell you exactly who you should look up.
Nag and
controlling, very controlling.
And he messaged Charlie and told him not to deal with me. I had showed the messages on my show, and Charlie was like, he thinks you're his slave. LOL, when I see Charlie again in heaven, I'm gonna be like, bro. We had no idea how right you were when you sent that message.
Wow.
I'm like a slave who escaped his plantation is how I feel right now. And they just got there on horseback trying to find me. You know what I mean? It's been like years, and I'm like, man, I think you just gotta let this slave go. I think she's fully up north.
Absolutely
yeah.
crazy.
So it was.
Ha 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 ha! Leftist identity politics. Ha ha ha! I'm black, and ha ha slavery. Okay.
That Ben did a flip, and so. But then he sort of noticed that he couldn't kind of stop the rise. And so Charlie and I did Ben's show. We were in LA in Sherman Oaks, which is where Daily Wire used to be based. And I remember Charlie was just like, okay, when we get there, when we take a photo with him, I'm going to stand up real tall and puff out my chest. So he looks super extra small. And I was like, do it. I said, do it. And
yeah, and you have no proof of it. But you do have a picture of him like standing up. But it kind of looks to me like he's trying to get in frame.
The photo is hilarious.
Oh
That was who Charlie was. Like, he was never like, we're going to be super mean or try to ruin this guy's life. We're going to get this photo so we always remember that we triumphed him in this room. And then we went on the show, he's just a jokester. He was totally a jokester like that.
Ben is the same.
Yeah, he hated Ben Shapiro so much he had him on his show, but never had you on his show. That's crazy. Wow.
Way with everything. I mean, look at what he does with the nation. He tells them what needs to be done. Mm-hmm. It's like, who put you in charge exactly? Mm-hmm. Who are you, dude? Like, he's telling American people,
you guys do the same thing. I do that too. I literally, guys, we give our opinions on the internet. All of us do it. Oh, America needs to do this. No, we need to do this. We need to elect this person. We need to get this done. We need to do this. What are you talking about? All of us do that. That's like our jobs, pretty much, right? That's what we do. We give political analysis for the most part. We also dabble in the drama and whatnot. But what? Candace, it's okay when you do it? That's so hypocritical.
You are wrong to want good for America because Israel comes first. He never said exactly these words, but that's where
he's never even suggested that, to be honest. But yeah, well, okay.
He's going. Like, we support Israel. We should support Israel. Who are you to decide who American people should support? Like, who are you?
Exactly.
I don't know. He could have been like, I don't know, a Turkish Russian person or something like that, I guess. He doesn't have to be an actual American, I guess. Yeah, who is he? Is Ben Shapiro born in America? Was Ben Shapiro born in America, or is he born in Israel? Yeah, he was born in Burbank, California. I wonder. What do you mean, who is he? Who's this lady again? What's her stupid name? Elizabeth Lane. Okay. Where was Elizabeth Lane TV born? I wonder, who are you to say? Let's see. She was born in the country of Georgia. Huh. Yeah, I wonder who Ben Shapiro is to say that. Right? It's crazy, right? Who are you to tell Americans what to do? Don't you want to tell Americans what to do? Who are you? I tell Americans what to do. What's wrong with you? What do you mean, who are you to tell Americans what to do? That is so crazy.
Operative. And
Wow.
I think that, and you can fact check this, but I was told when I was at the Daily Wire that his uncle is the one that sold all the uranium to Israel, stole all of our uranium. Zalman Shapiro, he ended up not being charged for it because I think he pled anti-Semitism in court or something, but he did sell all of our uranium.
I'm sure he was just like, that was very anti-Semitic for you to catch me in this crime. I just automatically believe you, Candace. Holy cow. Wow.
So this is who and what his family is, and this is what he was
Sorry, I
raised to
slip into
believe
an
that
Asian
he's
accent
chosen.
whenever I get angry.
And so I think when you are raised with that philosophy of thinking that everything is yours, that you should be allowed to steal and rape and kill
Yeah,
and take people's property
Yeah, I didn't think he was
because
even be
you're
related.
promised something. Chosen by whom? Satan.
Exactly. Yeah, by
Obviously,
whom?
if you can do this to children and you genuinely believe that you have a separate, as the Talmud instructs, that you have a separate spirit. They're animals, you're not. By the way, I wouldn't treat an animal as they treat the Palestinians, just to be clear.
Right.
And actually, when you watch their behavior, the deep irony is they can't think through, no, you have the spirit of animals. Look at you.
All right, let's take a look. The individual you were referring to, I asked what Shapiro stole uranium for Israel. Is he related to Ben Shapiro? I did that because I didn't know how to spell Zalman. I would have put, she said Zalaman. I would have put Zalaman. But anyway, the individual you're referring to is Zalman Shapiro, sometimes referred to as Dr. Zalman Shapiro, a chemist and president of Nuclear Materials and Equipment Corporation, NUMEC, in Pennsylvania. During the 1960s, a large amount of highly enriched uranium, estimates vary between 200 and nearly 600 pounds, went missing from the NUMEC plant. Allegation for 15 years, all this result, despite an intense investigation, no charges were ever filed, and Shapiro denied all accusations of wrongdoing. Some investigators in analysis later suggested the missing uranium was caused by poor management and lost through environmental contamination rather than theft. Definitely possible, I guess. Depends on how it happened, but I don't know. Is he related to Ben Shapiro? There's no evidence suggesting a familiar relationship between Zalman Shapiro and the conservative commenter Ben Shapiro. Wow, Candace. You just accused Ben Shapiro and his family of committing a horrific crime. You have no evidence to back that whatsoever. Why do you always say something so unbelievably irresponsible and stupid, thinking that we won't fact check you? That is insane. That is an insane thing to say. Like, absolutely crazy. I'm going to put this on X just in case anybody has to question it. Why did you lie about this dude being related to Ben Shapiro? I'll tag him too. I doubt he'll see it. But seriously, that's crazy. That is a crazy, crazy thing to do. Unbelievable.
Look at what you're doing. Not even an animal would do the things that you are doing right now in Palestine. They have some sort of reverence that is ingrained in them as creatures that were created by God. And so they can't work through, the people that support Israel can't work through the fact that you possess the spirit of animals, because look at what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, facts are facts. And Ben Shapiro might say like, well, I'm not doing it. I'm sitting in a studio and whatever. Well, you're supporting the people who are doing when you have the power to stop them. And that's almost worse.
He hosted Bibi Netanyahu on his show. And
yes.
Had to go get my dog from back outside. He was barking at the neighbor.
Well,
Criminal,
without
by the way.
blinking, a
Actual
actual criminal, without
Yeah.
blinking,
Yeah.
will say that Tucker Carlson's a monster.
Yeah.
Who has Tucker Carlson ever hurt? He will say Nick Fuentes is the worst thing that ever happened. How
By
many
the way, I could still hear this. I have my speakers on. My gate's just good enough to where the mic doesn't capture it. But yeah, I just went out to the back door real quick, let him in. But I could hear everything, so don't worry. I'm not behind. I don't have to repeat.
people has Nick Fuentes killed?
Nobody.
Okay, so I think Bibi Netanyahu is worse than Nick Fuentes. Does that
Right.
like generally make sense to the population?
If that's literally your benchmark, Candace, every single world leader is responsible for mass amounts of deaths. Every single one. This is such an insane cope. This is such a crazy thing to say. Like, who would dare run for any type of office knowing that Candace Owens is going to go ahead and call you a murderer because people died while you were in leadership underneath their watch? Underneath your watch, I mean. People died underneath your watch as your leader. If somebody ends up, I don't know, how would I put it? Starving to death. Well, then that death belongs to them too, right? Just because Netanyahu is the prime minister of Israel and has to make hard decisions to go to war, do you think Netanyahu wanted to be invaded? Do you really think yeah, she actually does. Never mind. What am I saying? She believes it was a false flag. No evidence, unfortunately, you know. And 3,000 innocent people were definitely killed by Hamas. Was Hamas paid by Netanyahu or something, though? I mean, we don't know. I guess we don't know, but Candace thinks she knows. There's no evidence. Why would I just trust that? You're like, oh, must have been it. And I'm like, is there any proof of this? No, but I do believe it. And it's like, okay, but I can't follow you on that journey, Candace. That's not the right thing to do. I can't just falsely accuse people, you know? Oh, the Bullington Club has Rothschilds in it, and we're supposed to believe Candace and George are just regular folk. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. George was he was the leader of the Bullington Club during his college days, which they worship Baal. Yeah, the demon Baal. They literally worship him. And Candace is just fine with that, apparently. That's just cool.
Absolutely.
That the bigger threat would
Yeah.
be the person that's now bombing Lebanon and stealing. They constantly steal and then tell us that they're more successful because they're better at business. You're thieves.
Oh, that's why.
We're thieves and murderers trying to convince us that it's righteous murder and righteous theft.
Right. And doing it poorly
So
too.
that's what
Or maybe they're just getting rid of Hamas like they said, you know. Maybe they're just getting rid of Hamas because Hamas keeps attacking them. You know, it could just be that. I don't know. It seems like probably the Occam's razor right there. But who am I to judge, right?
you will inherit. If you and to be clear, there are a ton of Jews who do not support this, and it's
Absolutely.
the numbers are now astounding of people that email me, rabbis that email me, Jewish Americans that watch this show. I think early on,
Yeah, but if your vetting process for those people is it anything like your vetting process for evidence against like Erica Kirk, then I probably would believe that this is just the same sweaty dude in his basement changing his making new emails every 5 seconds, giving you new stories. I doubt you have vetted these people at all. They'd probably just say, "Hey, I'm a rabbi," you know? And really it's just like some dude from the Congo or something like that, just having fun, typing away. Gets like 30 cents for every email he sends to Candace Owens or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's probably a kid. Who knows? Could be just a college kid somewhere too. Just doing it, you know? I bet a lot of these people sending Candace Owens tips and stuff like that are probably high school or college kids that just want to believe that they're part of something. You know what I mean?
they were like, oh no, this is about not wanting the Holocaust to happen. They now see what's happening and they want nothing to do with that.
And Israel does not represent all Jews. I worked with a Jew. My boss was a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
And Candace, I can explain.
Let me guess, you hated your boss, right?
Well, actually, I can't explain what was going on in his head. He never once told me to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I started talking about Israel and Palestine and all this, I know that every single time we had a meeting, he was so uncomfortable because
What was her job? What was her job? Was it like journalism or something like that? Because that'd be one thing. Was this like I don't know, like some sort of like office job or something? Why would you bring that stuff up?
because he's Israeli Jew. And he's like, he wants me to talk, but at the same time, he's got all this like family and distant family and all this. And I just felt sorry for him. I told him, like, I just feel.
I'm sorry your family sucks. Wow, what a nice lady. Okay. Okay, then. Wow.
So sorry for you.
Right.
I know you're, on the right side. And, we avoided this conversation, but his support was not like, oh, Elizabeth, go talk about it. His support was, I'm going to shut up.
Right. And I
That
think
was his support.
it's really also shown a light on Christian Zionists.
Yeah.
When we're talking
Hey,
about
BD, you just came from Jay Witt. This interview just gets worse and worse. Oh, man. It's doing that. It definitely is doing that. Thank you so much. Did Jay end his stream? Because I was gonna try and raid Jay today, but maybe he's raiding me instead. I don't know.
Zionists, let's be clear, the majority of them are Christian in America, and I'm sickened by them. I am sickened by the idea that I ever supported or platformed Ali Stuckey, right? As she is lecturing people perpetually and turning a blind eye to what is
I'm just so sick that somebody disagrees with me.
happening in Israel because she is convinced of some promise that, like, I don't know, she's going to be top goyim or something like that, top goy. And you sit here and you lecture people about abortion being wrong, murdering children being, but you go, but if it happens here, it's fine. Okay, now we're in Lebanon.
Yeah, and now it's okay to murder a 40-year-old. It's fine, like, because now it's for a cause, whatever that cause might be. Right? It's just so ridiculous. But okay, real quick, there's a deep question, but you can take it wherever you want. I always thought that Netanyahu was its own puppet in a way. And the real control was always here in the United States with the Zionists, like Christian Zionists and some Jewish Zionists, who knows. And because take Carlson or take Larry Fink or take all these people who are supporting this cause from afar, they're all here in the United States. None of them choose to go and live in Israel. So the power is here. And even if, tomorrow Israel doesn't exist anymore, they are still just fine.
I mean, I'm sure it'd be very, very difficult if they wanted to leave Israel for America, right? Like, Israel first, right? So, I mean, if they wanted to get out of there from the bombs and stuff like that, and they really didn't like Israel and all that, they could just pretend like they're Zionists and move to America? I don't know.
So do you think that it's driven by the deep state in here, what's going on?
I mean, according to them, Jews should just be allowed to walk straight into America, right? Because, I mean, it's Israel first. So they should just be allowed to go really wherever they want. No issues. I don't think it would be too hard for them, right? Or is it because they're the correct Jews that all of a sudden they're going to get punished and found out? Is that the issue? Is that what you'll make up next? I mean, this just doesn't make any sense. Do they not listen to themselves talk? Are they not thinking about what comes out of their mouths before it leaves? They're not really making much sense about this. It's a little frightening to see how stupid they must think their audience is. It really is. And if their audience really, truly is this dumb, this is the end, guys. I don't think we're surviving this. This would be crazy, We can't live in a world with people that dumb. They're going to pull the trigger on probably every single nuke in the entire world. We're probably going to go right into World War III because of these people. It's just crazy. They literally just believe what these people are saying. They don't ask for evidence. They don't question anything. It's terrifying.
With Israel, and Israel is just a fakely put together state as a tool, to carry out whatever they, need.
No, I think that their project is heavenly Jerusalem. I think Greater Israel is the plan, and they want to expand and their borders from all the way through to Ukraine. Ukraine is a piece of this puzzle, an obvious piece of this puzzle. There's no war between Ukraine and Russia. There is a genocide of Christians taking place. They're just
a genocide of Christians? What are you talking about? Where are they doing this? Is there any evidence to back this up? Specifically, who's genociding the Christians? Let me see.
All the way through to Ukraine. Ukraine is a piece of this puzzle, an obvious piece of this puzzle. There's no war between Ukraine and Russia. There is a genocide of Christians taking place.
Why wouldn't Zelensky say anything about this? Why wouldn't Ukraine say about it? This is the first I'm hearing. I've never heard this before. What? Hold on. Let me see. Let's see here. Targeting of non-Russian Orthodox groups. Russian occupying forces have specifically targeted Protestants, Baptists, Pentecostals, Jehovah's Witnesses, Catholics, and Orthodox Christians who are not affiliated with Moscow. Okay. Destruction of churches. Since the full-scale invasion in 2022, over 700 religious sites, churches, mosques, and synagogues have been damaged or destroyed by Russian action. Well, I think, I don't think Putin is like a Christian guy. I think he is atheist, isn't he? I know there's Orthodox Christians in Russia, but I think he would like to return Russia to like the USSR, if I had to guess. But let me see here. Is Putin Christian? Well, no, that's not right then. He's a Russian Orthodox Christian. So he's not going towards like Stalin or Lenin, I don't think. That's weird. Critics and theologies argue that his actions, such as the invasion of Ukraine, I don't care if that's... I don't know. Particularly in occupied religions like Donetsk and Luhansk. I can't pronounce these countries' name. Luhansk. Violence against clergy. Reports indicate that dozens of priests, pastors, and religious leaders have been kidnapped, tortured, deported, or ended in occupied Ukraine. Why are they attacking them? It doesn't seem like that's something that an Orthodox Christian would want to do. It's so radically the opposite. But is this just like Ukraine propaganda coming out too? I mean, it's so hard to tell. You know what I mean? I don't know that anything coming out of there is accurate. Hold on. I see my sunning. Yo, your summoning of Ed worked. Heck yeah. I missed your comment. I could scroll up. I know how to do that. Hey, Capozzo. Caposto. Like, Pozzo. Posto. It is Posto. I don't know how I am dyslexic with your name so bad for some reason. But it's also because I do want some more of that pasta. And, yeah, I'm probably going to end up doing that here before too long.
They're just going to mass murder the Ukrainian Christians and they're going to move other people in. That's the most obvious thing to me. There's no sense to what they're doing. It's just like, how are we going to do it?
Okay, well, I agree. There is no sense in what's going on with Russia and Ukraine right now. But I don't know. I just need to look more into it. You know what I mean? I need to look more into it. That's something that I'll probably do that little project tonight or something. Because I just don't know about. We'll see you later here. Shoot, I just missed your name. It just went up. Solfleur. Fleur. Cannot pronounce that properly either. Could never pronounce that in Harry Potter. The Fleur de Claire, whatever they are. Girls school thingy. Anyway, yeah. Hey, Dirtbite, good to see you here, man. Great to see you here too, Ed. JP and Beverly. Julie, thank you guys so much.
Genocide and make it look like it's not. Well, we're going to sign them up for war. That they know they're just going to kill a bunch of them, and then we're going to move in our people. And that is what makes the most sense, because what is today modern Ukraine used to be a very Jewish area. I mean, we could get into like Russian history and
I don't know that it's necessarily Candace's. This isn't just Candace isn't making this up off the top of her head. This is like a widespread theory. I don't think it came from Candace. Or I say theory. This is what's being spread around. This is just the AI, though. I don't know if this is it could be Ukraine propaganda, too. We got to keep in mind that literally Ukraine is filled with a bunch of national socialists. So it gives me pause to trust Ukraine. But keep in mind, Putin was an ex-KGB for the USSR. That means he probably does still have communistic ideology. You know what I mean? So I don't know who to believe. You're giving me literally a Nazi versus a communist. And it's like, well, I don't trust either one of those. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't, you know? So she could be telling the truth here. She may be completely wrong. And either or is very plausible for me. You know what I mean? Hey, Texas Mother.
the pale of settlement.
Oh yeah, and you're not the only one who said that. There was actually a Russian politician.
Well, I could tell you why she's kissing Candace's rear. Look at this, Kate. Candace Owens got 7 million. Oh my gosh! Yeah. Remember yesterday whenever I looked at her and I was here we go. And I was like, hey, this is plausible. I have I'm very close to her subscriber count. I just hit 28,000. She was at 32,000. Okay? Now she's at 41,000. That's how many subscribers she got from going on to Candace Owens. 6 million subscribers here. So, yeah, you could see why she's kissing rear. Because after this episode airs for a bit, this lady right here, more than likely, is going to hit probably close to anywhere between 50 and 100,000 subscribers by the time this is all said and done. You know what I mean? And because of that, that's going to change her life forever. She is now going to be able to make a full-fledged career off of YouTube because of what Candace Owens has done here. So you better believe she's going to kiss the ring. You know what I mean? That's exactly what's going to happen here.
Who predicted this, who said, well, Ukraine will be prepped for the Jews, for this cabal that's operating behind the scenes. So yes, I agree with you.
Absolutely.
Keep going. Yeah.
So that's the way that I see it. So in terms of Israel, I think you kind of have to go back to what was happening upon the European continent before that. And you got to go backwards to why this group of people who are now in Israel were being kicked out.
Oh, this is who did that? This is the same girl that leaked the Tyler Robinson grandparents' audio from court? You knew this clone looked familiar? Ah, okay. Notice how she didn't mention that in this episode. That's interesting. That's crazy. That is actually crazy.
Of so many nations.
That is one thing that I can't wait to do, though. I cannot wait to actually have a YouTube plaque. That's just, you guys have no idea. That would be crazy for me. I don't care. I wish they just gave the plaque out at 20,000. It's not so much of the subscribers that I'm like, of course I want to get to 100,000 subs, but it's like, man, if I could get that plaque today, they should just lower the subscriber count because I just want that. I want that plaque. I don't know. It'd just be cool. But yeah, did you completely wrong on Candace's story here, what she's saying, or completely wrong that lady is the audio leaker? Just curious.
And I've been begging people who are
curious.
Studious and Jewish to look into this massive movement where they had a false messiah named Jacob Frank. Then this gets into Sabbatianism and Frankism. That is the key to everything. This is not Judaism at all. It's mystic Judaism, if you will. If you could say it's Jewish mystical tradition. Get into what Sigmund Freud was. This is where you're getting their initiation rites, the harming of children. This is not. It's mysticism. Full stop. And studying Sabbatianism and Frankism made me understand.
Yeah, I mean, this Elizabeth it's going to be a much harder fall for her. She's going to jump up really high and it's going to bam. Because, I mean, realistically, if I were to have gone on Candace's show, and I'm saying this because I know how to actually talk to people without just kissing their rear end and being like, oh, you're so great. I agree with every single thing you say. No, I give my own opinions. I know how to talk, I probably would have jumped that subscriber count up more. I don't know. I'd like the challenge. But, I bet I could even go on to Candace's show and probably rake in more subscribers from Candace's show. But that's because I'm very confident I would absolutely annihilate Candace in a debate. It would be a cakewalk. It would be a straight-up cakewalk. Which is why I've been calling her out. I've said I will drive to her house anytime, any day, any place to go on to her show and debate her. And then she's like, just no one's willing to debate me. And it's like, I will do it. I will spend my own money. I will take my time off work. I will find childcare for my kids. And I will drive my car to your doorstep to debate. I will do it. So, she's not willing to do that though. So yeah, but I would love the challenge. I bet I could take more subscribers from her, from her channel than, the lady that agrees with her would. I don't know. It would be a fun challenge, I think, anyway.
understand what was happening. You had Frankists who were at war, by the way, with Jews. No one wants to speak about this. This is actually what was happening in Poland. They were at war with the Jews because they said this is an old philosophy, the Torah, we don't want to follow the old law. And in comes this radical Jacob Frank. And once you begin looking into Jacob Frank, you will fully understand the picture.
I'll take a look at Jacob Frank, but I don't want to see Jacob's Frank. At the end of the day here, though, guys, look, I don't really know much about what's going on in Poland. I don't know if it's going to be really relevant, and apparently this was in the past or something. I don't know. I'll look into it, but I doubt it's going to teach me much. I don't really care. Poland can have its own ordeal. We're not doing that here in America, you know. You know she won't be back because Charlie came to her in a dream and not Candace. The look on Candace's face says it all. Yeah, exactly. Now she has to share dream space with with someone else. That's very funny. Thank you so much for that 5 Wombat Mommy. That is a very, very funny comment. I really appreciate that one. That's great.
I believe, and with a lot of evidence, that Theodore Herzl was himself a Frankist. I don't believe his children committed suicide.
Okay, yeah, that's weird. The Torah is the Old Testament. Yeah, that is a good, that's a good point. And Frank's uncle? Okay. Yeah.
He likely raped them, is what my research shows me, because through Sigmund Freud sent
glad
him
you know that reference.
Help for one of his daughters or whatever on how to deal with her. But what Sigmund Freud was doing, and which has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, his contribution was gaslighting kids who were actually being raped by their parents. Okay. And this was a part of the Frankist ceremonial rites, like to initiate, you had to show yourself that you could violate the law. It's a form of Gnosticism, right? You have to
Okay, I'll have to verify that later. That's not something I want to look into, that's for sure.
plunge yourself and show yourself that everything is a figment. There's no such thing as like good and evil. So you have to plunge yourself into the depths, and then they believe that from unholiness, holiness will arise. And if that sounds crazy to you and new to you, you should look into Jacob Frank. None of this is made up. This is all very real. There's no doubt that
family's a bunch of
I'm talking about
wieners.
Sigmund Freud, practiced Sabbationism.
Or a
So
bunch of weenies, I guess would be funny.
when I see what is
Weenies would have
happening,
been better to say.
I believe that these Frankists have been masquerading as Jews. They've
Oh, really? So you would call him a real Frankenstein, right? I deserve credit for that one. Candace, I acknowledged your Shabbats. You better acknowledge my Frankenstein that you just put together here. I swear if she says it after this, though, I'll be upset. I actually will be upset if she says that. That's mine.
mixed in amongst Jews for a very long time. Infiltrations happen. I want to be clear. They also infiltrated the Catholic Church. Jacob Frank mass converted when they were at warring with the Jews, the Torah Jews in Poland. They said, "Oh, protect us from the Jews. We'll convert to Christianity." And the bishop at that time mass converted a bunch of the Frankist community into Catholics, right?
Just out of curiosity, what exactly is she talking? Like, what? She didn't really introduce this person very well, at all. So what is going on? Like, they're just talking like crap. Now they're talking this kind of history piece, which, okay, yeah. I mean, I'll look it up. Some piece of history. What year was it? Did she even say, when was Jacob Frank? Okay, let's look at this. No wonder we don't talk about that. I didn't know. Did she say that it took place in literally the 1700s? I think I might have heard her say 18th century. Of course we don't talk about that. What? In what point in time would I have time to learn about 18th century Poland specifically? Like, I don't even have any, like, ancestry there. Let's see. Frankenstein was already an LLC thumbnail. I'll send you the image. It was really funny. Wait, really? Oh, is that like did they really make like a Frankenstein Jew joke thing? I was hoping that I created that. Oh, dang. It's not that crazy to think about. Anything with a Steen you can slap, or a Stein you can slap at the end of it. It's probably the same exact joke has been done.
Very important part of
With any
Catholic
kind of
history.
that.
Catholics need to trace where those families went that mass converted into Catholicism. Jacob Frank became a baron. He was based in Offenbach, Germany.
Yeah, that's a good point. So if some Jews miscarried, then why is she blaming all Jews? Yeah. Like, why? Like, these could have been totally different Jews in Poland than what are in Israel right now. That's weird. You know what I mean? How does she know they're all the same ones that went to Israel, but all the good ones are the ones that just are? So it's about, like, somehow the bloodline splits on ideology? It's... I don't know. It's really weird. The way she phrases all this, because it's like, there's no way that every single one of these are the ones that are, in Israel. It's such a stretch. That's just like literally going after black people. You know what I mean? It's funny because she hates whenever race is brought up until she's talking about Jews.
Given his own castle, the rumor, and there's a lot of evidence to support the rumor, is that he was being funded by the Rothschilds. Okay. And the Montefiore family, the Rothschilds, they moved into each other, the banking dynasty that were bankrolling him. And one of the strategies, though, one of the tenets of Frankism is to false convert. They practice false converting into other faiths. So it becomes...
What do you mean practice? Like, I think I could just, I think I know how to do it. I don't think I'd have to practice it at all. I think if I wanted to false convert, I could just, do that. I could just, watch this. I'm a Muslim now. Wow, that was tough. I lied about it, too. There we go. I false converted. Yeah. All right.
Increasingly difficult to track who these people are who are wearing. They're pretending that they are Muslim.
Okay, if they're increasingly difficult to track because they false converted so good that they never ever told you that they were lying, how do you know they false converted? Okay.
That they are Jewish and they're pretending that
Absolutely.
they are Christian.
This takes a lot of mind reading.
Skill.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you. And I have not studied Frankism, but I studied other secret societies. And what you are telling me right now is exactly
they worship all.
Yes.
Yeah, they worship all.
So for a person...
Yeah, all these Franks and balls and all that stuff. It's Baal, Candace. It is Baal. Please stop calling him Ball.
Out there listening right now, and if they've never done any research in this, you just have to either go and do it yourself or take our word for it, because I worked for 6 years on Kennedy assassination and it took me in places I never thought. And so you're absolutely right.
They established Hollywood.
Yes.
Right. So it's a different name of who's leading it. Because
can you tell us who did Kennedy in again there, Miss Gobble? Oh wait, no, she's not Turkish. Georgian. How does she always position herself in front of a George?
They believe in reincarnation, but this is what Aleister Crowley was. Aleister Crowley, this is the occult. It is full stop occult worship. And I'm so glad that people are beginning to have this conversation today, because if you don't understand the theology, it seems crazy to you.
Anybody else find it to be weird too? This lady dressed up exactly like Candace Owens. Has a weird barcode thing right here. I don't know what that is. Smudge? I don't know. And then she's also a George. I smell a conspiracy here, guys. I smell a conspiracy. George looking like Candace. Something's happening. I don't know. Tirutama, thank you so much for that $5 sticker. Sorry, I was trying to read that name there. Tirutama, thank you. That's very, very nice of you.
Seem crazy to me at all.
Right.
When the young women who testified in the Knesset were talking about the ritualistic abuse that happened to them when they were 3 years old in Israel. It's just now become a big issue in Israel, that they're saying that these rabbis are taking them into, I think, the woods, the forest, and performing these rapes and initiations at the age of 3. And you can go watch their testimonies that this is real. Like I said, it's happening now. And for the first time, it seems like the Knesset is taking it seriously because too many people are saying that it's happening. That might sound crazy to you if you haven't studied Frankism or studied the occult, but that's all very real. And if people don't tether themselves to that reality and they allow people to keep saying that what is actually a religion is a conspiracy, we are never going to be able to wake up to what happened. It is why I discussed the elements of Charlie's assassination as being occult, ritualistic. That's obvious to me. There are way too many themes of human sex trafficking in the story. It doesn't make sense that everybody is involved in charity of human sex trafficking charity. Like, all of your friends do this. All of your friends are involved in human sex trafficking charity. Something doesn't smell right. So
Okay, so every single one of these people who have claimed this was in 2025. They were all adults, and they all claimed that it happened around the same time, and there are no actual children saying this right now. Are there any claiming this? Okay. Let's see. Oh, man. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Terribly sorry, guys. As of May 2026, there are no widespread reports of any children coming forward. Okay, so none of them. This investigation into these past events have led to several recent developments. Adult survivors, 2025-2026. Rabbi's warning, January 2026. Senior religious Zionist Rabbi Yaakov Medan warned of clear reports of this abuse occurring under the guise of religious ceremonies. He noted that parents of teenage boys have recently approached him with these reports. So maybe teenagers coming up, parents of them are coming forward about something like that. Testimonies claim the abuse involved organized networks of rabbis, educators, and public officials. But yeah, it doesn't seem like any kids are coming forward at all today at all. It would be the perfect age for the people coming forward. It doesn't sound like it's happening today then. Because if people are adults saying that it happened when they were 3, and nobody of any age underage is coming forward whatsoever to say anything happened to them, I mean, you would think at least one, right? So it is interesting because it's like, okay, well, even if all these guys come forward and it's true, it's clearly not happening today. You know what I'm saying? So it's, I don't know. I'm sure there's at least a few, statistically speaking. You know what I mean? Like, at least a few probably happening.
I very much believe that Israel as the modern state was created by the Rothschilds as a safe haven
0%
for a lot of these demonic occult Bolsheviks that came in. I could, don't even get me started on the Bolsheviks and who they were and what they were. They were not.
They walk into a bar with a Polak.
They hated Russians, they hated Christians, and they mass murdered tens and millions of Christians.
Well, they killed their king. Let's sort of,
the Tsar.
Yeah, they killed the Tsar. They extorted.
Yes, good Lord. What are we doing? We're going through 1700. They killed their king. Well, that was bad and evil. Oh my gosh, this is so ridiculous. This is so ridiculous and childish and dumb. Like, everybody was the bad guys in the 1700s and before. Unless you were American. America's always the good guys. Just saying. We just, if not, we'll end you. No. It's just one of those things, like, of course, like, who cares? Why are you all this invested in the past like that?
They took Russian gold, gave it to Europe. Yes, all
they
of
steal.
This is,
they constantly steal, and then they reemerge somewhere else, and they wear a different mask.
You know what's crazy? People have no problem believing what happened with Epstein. Right? Like, it's okay. Okay, so that's true because government also admitted and said that, a bunch of people were raped and all of this. And, okay, so this part of history is not true, but that is, and you have no problem imagining that could be true, but you have a problem imagining that the same thing is going on with other.
Well, who invaded who first? I mean, this is all so stupid.
Kind of
so stupid.
clans and groups. Like, where is the logic here? It escapes me.
Well, it goes back. It really goes back to the time of Egypt, and so
we know the logic escapes you. That's fine. That's a great way to word that.
When you even look at the construction, the symbolism is everything to them. It is everything to them.
Everything, yes.
And so when you look at the construction of the little Egyptian type temple that he had on his island, that's a cult. And so I know it's actually from a movie, but when Kevin Spacey says the greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing people that he didn't exist, that's American Western society today. Ancient civilizations always understood this stuff was real. And for thousands and thousands of years, people understood that this was real, that spiritual battles were real.
We're only
What they
halfway
did
through this
post World War
interview.
II was turn us into this sort of modern, fickle surface society that
This
thinks
sucks.
that, oh, that's just for the movies. Oh, witches are for dress up. Oh, spells, everything.
Oh, okay, 1903 to 1952. Even so, like, I don't know. I don't care what other countries did back then. I'm not even remotely, like, interested in that.
Things
don't
hocus
know.
pocus. No,
It's
it's
all
not
silly
hocus
to me.
pocus. This stuff is very real. These people practice occult worship. They practice ceremonies, and you are not going to be safe or
Oh, Candace might
prepared
be pregnant.
to
I have no idea.
begin to comprehend what we are dealing with and what we are fighting unless you begin to
Oh, they
pierce that
became,
layer.
yeah,
and
that's
to,
right.
and
They became the Communist Party. That's right. I did know that. Even so, it's just like, I don't care. When I mean I don't care about this, I don't mean I don't care about history. I don't care that Candace Owens is talking about this. It does nothing for me. It's like, all right, is any of this going to be related to Charlie or not? Because earlier in this episode, she said she's not stopping, she's not hesitating, she is going forward, fire's lit under her, whatever the crap she said about Charlie Kirk, saying that she would, how did she word it? Let's, I'll just put it like this. Wait. Is this video on her channel? Oh, okay. That's why it's quote unquote off the record. I see. All right. Anyway, so I'll go down here. Let's see. So Charlie Kirk. Okay, 16 times. Let's see. Just had like Charlie Kirk tell me in my dream. Oh yeah. Was something about Charlie Kirk made people realize, okay, in the knee, having watched Charlie Kirk. Okay. Put it out there. Nope. Ceremony. So like with Charlie Kirk case, they wouldn't stop talking about it. Tell me in my dream. Okay. Nope. Okay, so it's not under that. How about I'll just put stop. They don't stop. Kind of couldn't stop the rise. Supporting the people. Doing. Where are we at in the video? We're 47 minutes, so. This is, okay. Backwards and stop saying build a wall. I don't know. I can't remember where it was. It doesn't matter, I guess. She said she wasn't going to stop with the Charlie Kirk stuff, and I just thought she would go on more about the Charlie Kirk stuff. You know what I mean? I thought we were going to get somewhere today. I thought, and even if she's the person who leaked the Tyler Robinson stuff, why are they not talking about this? Why aren't they talking about the court case? What is going on? I don't even understand what this interview is about. I didn't think I was going to get some history lesson here. You know, this is completely irrelevant.
And to look at how long these ancient practices have been happening all the way through to our society
today. It's always mocking God, like always mocking God. If they are such a fairy tale and nothing's to it, why did the French government or whoever organized the Olympics felt the need to mock Jesus? If none of this is real, do something else. I don't know, get a ballerina to perform or something. Why do you feel like you need to mock Jesus exactly? The way you did.
Has to happen that way because it's all about the revelation of the method. These people are psychopaths, right? They are truly psychopaths. And I've now got tons of people who have sent me older Freemason Bibles. I wish I could just take another 2 years to study Freemasonry now that I know that all of these people were Freemasons like Sigmund Freud, B'nai B'rith. But they have to kind of wink at you and let you know they're doing it. It's part of the trick is then gaslighting you about the fact that it happened and going, what are you talking? Oh my gosh, you believe that 33 could mean something? Yeah, I actually know 33-degree Freemasonry is something. And then what did we have happen right after?
But why specifically the Masonry, though? Could have been something else.
They mocked it. France had the case that's going on right now where there was an international assassin squad linked to a Freemason lodge. Yes, people, it happened.
So, if the French are involved with that, why would they arrest their people? Why did they arrest their people, Candace? That's, the French government's in on this. They have the Freemasonry and stuff, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to arrest them. All right.
happens, it's going on, and linked to their government. This is all real, and linked to their military. And I go, oh, when Candace said it on her show, it was completely crazy. Fast forward a month, and now it's making its way through the courts.
Absolutely.
It's never stopped. It relies on your stupidity. It relies on your trigger reaction when you hear conspiracy. That was CIA term that they developed post JFK.
Of course. Conspiracy theorist was
conspiracy
there. Yes.
theories.
Yeah.
You're a conspiracy theorist. You're a tinfoil hat head.
Right.
You really saved that one there, Elizabeth. You really got on our good side with that one.
Take out your tinfoil hats. Happy to wear one. I'm not going to be an idiot. I know the game that these people are playing.
Exactly. And Epstein was a conspiracy not so long ago. Remember that?
That's right.
So yeah, absolutely. And if someone wants to know like how serious this is, they might not trust Candace Owens, but how about Catholic Church and Vatican itself, huh? So I interviewed very high-ranking Masons in DC, and they themselves told me a story that I was like, oh, that happened? Really? And that doesn't bring up question marks to you guys? So apparently Vatican called them and invited them to go over to Vatican and talk to the leadership, because they suspected that Freemason branch out somewhere was orchestrating protests and trying to get some kind of coup going. So they actually called people in DC, Masons in DC, come over here and explain yourselves.
Wow. And I can tell you it's so funny because a priest gave me a gift when I was in Wyoming. He gave me a book, and I haven't had time to read it yet. It makes me want to look it up, but it's called Murder in the 33rd Degree.
Oh yeah, I know the book.
Okay,
oh,
so I haven't read it yet, but
Yeah.
and because I was speaking to him about all of my study into Freemasonry and speaking about how it's really important for us to go back and to learn which families were baptized into the Catholic Church
Yes.
that were Frankists.
That's really weird. I don't know. I don't know if I trust this. I think she's kind of full of crap here.
That happened, and I don't know how to begin that pursuit of getting records, but
Right.
I just imagine the Vatican could. And that
Vatican, huh?
is how your world is run. It's how it's
Absolutely.
always been run. And
Yeah.
we just recently read a book in my book club just to kind of get people into understanding where it started with like Francis Bacon, and I guess you could say more modern Freemasonry with Francis Bacon in the 12th century. And so I think now Americans, I think 10 years ago you couldn't have had this discussion, but now they're going, things are crazy. And I do think that something about Charlie Kirk's death catalyzed that understanding.
Absolutely. And before that, COVID and all this stuff, right? So people are slowly waking up, and no one calls anybody from Vatican for no reason to show up and answer questions.
Right.
Especially Masons, like highest ranking Masons in Washington, D.C., like, explain yourselves,
Right.
like what's going on, right?
Very true.
So yeah, and to bring this back to TPUSA now, who I think they are directly in war with you for God knows why. I mean, their CEO died. You would think they want to investigate and be like, how can we help Candace Owens here? So instead, they are accusing you that somehow you hurt their organization. Obviously, they will never come out and say, well, our organization is going down because of one person, So, and an organization that can be brought down because of one person maybe shouldn't exist at all. Like, how about that? Huh? So, but if that's true, right? Why do you think that why do you think they are so like hateful towards you when all you're doing is just trying to answer questions, not even...
That's the problem, though. She is trying to answer questions without any evidence. You said it really well there, Elizabeth. That's the problem. It's not that she's asking questions either. Nobody has a problem with Candace Owens asking questions. It's the fact that she's giving answers to questions that, first of all, the question never needed to be asked because there's no probable cause or evidence to even ask that question. But if you want to ask the question, that's fine. But second of all, given an answer to something that you have not actually received from a reputable source is an incredibly dangerous and stupid thing to do. Because you don't actually know if you're right or not. You might have made a lucky guess. Maybe. But when they're guesses, how valuable do you think that is to the public? And how damaging is it when people believe that that's actually the answer? And you didn't know yourself, you just wanted to make a quick buck on their behalf. I mean, it's unbelievable. If she had any proof whatsoever, if Candace Owens actually had proof, she would post it. That's the thing. That's what I would do. If I actually had proof to accuse somebody, 1,000,000% I would post it in a heartbeat because I want that person to get caught. Candace clearly doesn't. Candace is clearly harboring a fugitive, I guess you could say. I guess you could say she's protecting them. She's protecting a bunch of criminals because she just won't release the evidence that they did anything wrong. It's the way I see it, right?
Maybe not even solve the damn case, trying to maybe fill the holes that are left in this investigation. That's really all you're doing.
You're not filling holes. That's the problem, is you don't know if there's any holes to fill. The investigation's not over. And on top of that, we don't even know what they found yet because it's not going to be revealed until the trial happens. That's the problem. So why is she trying to fill holes that might not even exist?
So one person cannot destroy an organization. One lie can. And that is how I see
And that is Candace Owens' philosophy. Right there. Well said.
Turning Point USA. And what I find often with people who are engaged in this sort of behavior.
One lie is all Candace Owens needed to try and destroy an entire company. And she believes that.
Is that there is always this level of arrogance that accompanies it. And you have to imagine, you're them. It's the biggest assassination, bigger than JFK, because they didn't have, everyone felt like they were there for the assassination because it's happening through our screens. They didn't have this technology. People are watching this on TikTok and watching this on X and watching this on YouTube, and everyone felt a spiritual pull, people who didn't know.
Wait, what do you mean? Some people say TPUSA was used to harvest people's ID, faces, phones, etc. And when Charlie found out, he got ended. How would I put this? I don't know that Charlie necessarily ever knew he got ended. You know what I mean? The moment that happened, I'm not sure he was comprehending what happened. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's kind of a weird way to word that. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what you mean. I don't think, why would they need to do that? It doesn't make any sense for them to get, I don't know. I don't see how that would be possible. You know what I'm saying? Because your phone, every time it looks at you with the front camera, it does that automatically. And I guarantee you our government has full access to it. So I don't know why they would even do that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. I don't think it's a troll. I think it was just poorly worded because I've seen him comment before. He said something like, ranting about Jews is not asking questions. You know what I mean? So it seemed, the FBI used it. Biden wanted to label MAGA as domestic terrorists. Yeah, exactly. So I don't see why TPUSA would even be needed. You see what I'm saying? Because obviously, our government's got access to it. TPUSA isn't going to add anything to it whatsoever. No, they just, if anybody has a phone, the government's got your face. You know what I mean? That's it. So, basically saying Charlie was going to blow the lid. But the thing about it is why wouldn't the rest of the TPUSA follow? We already know this, too. The lid's been blown off that stuff for well over a decade now. Remember the whole Amazon listening in on you in your house conspiracy, and then it turned out to not be a conspiracy at all, and it was all throughout the Twitter files and stuff like that? That's pretty much when we found out. Well, not when we found out, but that's, was really the most concrete stone, that we kind of overturned. And then there was a lot of stuff that came out in general. But yeah, we've known this for a long time. I don't know. TPUSA would not even be necessary in that factor, Miss Riz for $2 says, Candace Owens had more hate for Erica Kirk and TPUSA than Tyler Robinson. Yeah, I think you're spot on. Spot on. Thank you so much for that. Here's a flip phone. Yeah. I see how it is. No, I wish I had a flip phone, honestly, now.
Him on the other side of the world. Vladimir Putin made remarks about Charlie's assassination. Think about that. So for them, they went into this, and this explains the giddiness and the joy that they had at the memorial, that this energy is all going to be harnessed for us.
Wait, who's
It's
Mitchell
we
Jackson?
are
Did I miss
Charlie's
that?
organization. We are Charlie, I think was kind of the shirts they were selling, right? And this is going to mean, and it did immediately mean in the beginning, more money for us. And
Oh, yeah, exactly.
we've arrived.
Exactly, Caitlin.
And then the truth peered in, and people said something's not right here. And so it ended up being that they could not actually effectively harness that energy. They could not control it, which they should have known that, because that energy was Charlie's. And Charlie would have never
This is just weird, Candace. I don't know what you're talking about. You're ranting at this point.
given his energy to a lie. So people sat there, they had money, they had power, they had access. Erica can pick up the phone and call the FBI. You start to get high on your own supply. You know, nothing can take us down. You can imagine how
How would you know, Candace? Firsthand experience?
they felt. It's us. He was at this office every day. And then people watched the memorial. And I'll never forget Taylor Lorenz's tweet where she said,
Wait.
"Why do I feel like Candace Owens is the only one who actually cared about him?" Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about how
that's how it was.
crazy that is that she said this. Okay. So she's watching this spectacle, everyone's watching it, and she's going, "That was weird. Why do I feel like Candace was the only one who actually cared about him?" And I'm sitting here going, "Hey guys, like, are we teaming up? Are we gonna like try to figure out who?" And no, it wasn't there. There was no desire. And so they blame me for being authentic, because maybe they could have pulled it off if Candace had just gone along with the narrative.
They did not anticipate that you would just get on it. Like, yeah. So, okay, I want to play a little game here. So if TPUSA did some things differently, because they blame you, you know, they really want to blame you and say like, oh, Candace destroyed whatever we built. Okay, great. I believe personally that they themselves destroyed it in their lies and all this, right? So, okay, let's play a little game. If TPUSA after Charlie's death did not change the messaging that Charlie Kirk was trying to put out there, right? And what was it? Let's.
Hey, Claire, thanks for the 5. These two bees fighting over who Charlie belonged to more. Neither of you were married to him. These women are weird. Yeah, I agree. They are very, very, very weird. Without a doubt. It's all so petty. It's all so petty. Hey, who was talking about, okay, hold on. What was his name? Mitchell Jackson. Was that her producer? Or her publicist or something? Like, what exactly did he do? I think I missed that part. What did you guys say? Was there something about that? I was reading chat in the middle of all of it, so it like, kind of, I don't know. I think I may have missed it. She is the only one who cared, right? Yeah. These people are weird. Yeah, they're the only ones who cared about Charlie. And Charlie literally had a big falling out with Candace that she denies. I mean, that's what's so bad about it.
Cleared this up first, right? So Charlie was against genocide. He went to, I believe it was Patrick B. David's show that is misbehaving really badly right now. Like, I can't watch the guy anymore. But he sat there and he said, I think they're going to do, like, they're going to cleanse Gaza, like, period. Like, that, obviously, it was bothering him. So he publicly said he's abandoning Israel cause. And then you knew him better.
He didn't publicly say that. He said something along those lines in a private text, but we don't know how that ended. And that's kind of the problem. He says, literally, I don't like this Jewish donor. And this is, it's going to give me no choice but to pull out of the Israeli cause. You know what I mean? And it's like, what does this have to do with any of that? What is he talking about? Like, what kind of, like, I just want to know, based on a donor, what was this about? Who was the donor? What was the text before this? What was the text after that? Like, and it's just like a little snapshot into some sort of conversation that may actually end up either being a joke or something out of context, or we don't know. We have no idea. I want to see the rest of this text, but Candace doesn't. It's good enough for Candace, and that bothers me. Mary Jean Blair for the $5. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. Thank you, guys. Wait, Nikki, Marlon from Straight Talk was trying to oh, is he? Where is it, on X or something? Hold on, let me see. Let's see here. No. Oh, it's not on X. Let's see here. I don't know. Where's he trying to get a hold of me at?
Better than most people, certainly better than me. He did not like, for example, Nicki Minaj, Ben Shapiro, all of this. So where are we with TPUSA right now? We are supporting Israel. We are bringing Nicki Minaj out on stage. Like,
He tried everything? Huh. So her manager and producer quit. I saw somebody say that, and Candace said that was incorrect, but and thank you so much for that $2 super chat, Mackenzie. I saw him say that, but I hadn't seen anything concrete about it yet, or if it had happened a while ago, or if he was talking about like that one person that was like, oh, I'm on my way to do better things or different things or something, and if that was that conversation like a couple months ago. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'll look on X and see if more stuff's popped up. Are you guys saying more information's out now?
what, a few months after Charlie's death, Ben Shapiro opens TPUSA. So Charlie Kirk's messaging, the person who built the organization himself.
Do you want to ask yourself why Ben Shapiro was on there right before Charlie passed away? What do you think the reason was? Was it because they were setting Charlie up? Or because Charlie liked Ben Shapiro more than Candace? I'm just curious. Which one do you think? I mean, I know what they think, but which one does everyone else think?
Was completely changed. And they are blaming Candace Owens for ruining the organization. Oh no, maybe it was you, like, who actually changed the entire messaging this man was trying to get out there. And how is it Candace's fault?
You know, I go back to that post you wrote that just went so viral in describing the attributes of Erica that, you know, caused people to emotionally recoil.
Yep.
There was a portion of it where you were saying the problem with the psychopath and what makes them different is they have never experienced this emotion. So they don't know how to emulate it. The problem with Turning Point USA is just that, right?
I'm sure they're all psychopaths, kid. Every single one of them. One of the rarest things that could possibly happen has definitely happened. TPUSA has all the psychopaths. Yeah, sure. That just makes sense.
Very clear.
Couldn't just be the one person that's mainly the problem. You know, the one that everybody has a problem with. No, definitely not the common denominator. For sure. It's everybody else is crazy but her.
That there has to be a psychopathology that is ruling the roost because they haven't thought through the natural response people will have to certain things that they're doing. So even if you, let's say, theoretically, plotted the assassination, everyone's guilty, everyone at Turning Point is guilty, right? If this is not being ruled, like whoever's making the decision is not an actual psychopath, you say, okay, we just need to keep things at least for a year, like what Charlie wanted. Okay, so like no Ben Shapiro on stage. Obviously, it's not a good idea because Charlie, it's pretty on record, he hates him, right? That'll make people go, eh. You tell Erica, like, just to kind of go out there, like when she immediately came out and said, went to Barry Weiss, do you believe he did it? Yes. No. If I'm directing.
Oh, I think Candace Owens lost a sponsor too. Wow. Let's see. Raven Grace actually posted, started the campaign to get one of her sponsors quit. She didn't say one had. I was wondering what was going on. Guess losing that sponsor hurt. Which sponsor was it though? This Good Ranchers. She reached out to Good Ranchers. Look at this guy. Hold on. This is crazy. A little bit of news that I didn't know. Raven Grace reached out to Good Ranchers. Hi there. Thank you for reaching out. We want to let you know that we no longer have an active partnership with Candace Owens. If you have any other questions, we're happy to help. We truly appreciate you being part of the Good Ranchers community. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, she lost a sponsor. That's a big sponsor. Crazy. I'll take you guys on. Yeah. Any sponsor that may maybe that's the sponsors I'll take, guys. Maybe that's exactly what it is. I should get the sponsors that are standing against Candace Owens. How about that? Would anyone have a problem with that? I doubt these guys will reach out to me, though. I'm too small. But, I mean, hey, call me. I like meat. Send me meat to my doorstep. That would be awesome. Yeah, good ranch. Yeah, exactly. This is great. Oh, yeah, I'm guessing that probably hurt. I don't know what she's showing here. She's just having a rough year. Employees quitting. Yeah, that's crazy. That was 3 hours ago. That's some breaking news, guys. Ish. I'm a little late on it. Well, Candace's stories. Candace's stories the day she went live with Mitch Snow. Stuff like okay. This is 17 minutes ago. Should be enough to disqualify her as a serious investigator engaged in serious investigation. She verbatim calls the Fort Huachuca story the final piece that will expose the cover-up and blow the lid off this case, making it where the government can no longer deny that our military was involved in the end of Charlie Kirk. None of that was true. Yeah, I guess so. That's glad to see some old stuff popping up. I forgot about all that, you know. We need to go through a lot of Candace Owens stuff, you know. Real Candace Owens manager. What's this? Savannah Jacob Kennedy. Missing? Why is she missing? Let's see. Oh, trouble in Candyland. Earlier today, Ben Shapiro claimed Candace Owens' producer and manager recently quit. So I checked Candace's manager's Instagram, and it turns out she removed the part of her bio that identifies her as Candace's manager. That's odd. Candace denies that this happened, so this can only mean one of two things. Candace is lying and her manager quit, or Candace's manager knows what Candace is doing is wrong and doesn't want to be associated with it and is now trying to hide that she's Candace's manager. Either way, this isn't a good look for Candace, and she knows it. Huh. Interesting. Well, there it is. There it is, guys. Very interesting. That's her Instagram, though. Candace lied about Ben being last guest, and she lied about Nick being live on Charlie's show the day he died. Yeah. Wait, Nick being live? Nick Shirley? Yeah, he wasn't. No, that was like weeks later. Nick Shirley went on TPUSA. Charlie wasn't even around. Charlie wasn't around anymore when he came on. It was, I believe. I think it was like 2 weeks after, 3 weeks after, right? No, he knew about the Somali fraud, right? Was that? Oh man, my timelines are getting mixed up. Hold on now. We're gonna find out right now. That's what we're gonna do. Charlie, Kirk, Nick, Shirley. 8 months ago. Rest in peace. Okay. Honoring Charlie Kirk IRL. Wait, did he actually interview him here? That was 8 months ago.
Might be a bit more of a somber.
Does he actually get to Charlie Kirk? Hold on. That'd be crazy if you ran into Charlie Kirk here. Or is that just edited video? AI edit. This is the big peak right here. This is when you would think you'd see Charlie Kirk. And you don't. So maybe not. Maybe it was just good AI edit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Charlie Kirk would come at the end and it'd be such a small bar here. It looks like this is the big peak right here. It's the biggest peak on the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. Dang. How did he get it to look that good? That looks very real. Huh. Oh, Wombat Mommy. Oh, wait. I already got you. Oh, thank God. I did not miss you. Thank you so much for that, Wombat Mommy. I really appreciate that. Sorry, I got kind of lost in looking this up. Yeah, I don't see Nick Shirley on ever interviewing Charlie. Or Charlie interviewing him. So, yeah. Yeah, she's full of crap. He couldn't have been on the show the day he passed. So, yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. What day was Ben Shapiro was the day before though. Charlie Kirk interview 9 months ago. He sat down with Tucker Carlson too. He had a lot of sit downs. He had Bill Maher. He had Gavin Newsom. Yeah, I mean it's crazy, right? Like he had all those people, but no Candace Owens. Definitely no Candace Owens. Let's see. Is there any other evidence here? Candace, if you feel that taking money from the Daily Wire somehow comes between you and God, by all means quit. Oh, yeah, he said, when was that? Breaking news. Ben Shapiro just told Candace Owens that she can quit the Daily Wire. Wait. Oh, this is 2023. I was like, oh, never mind. Yeah. Never mind. Why is this here? Oh, I see, because I typed in quit up there. That's right. Yeah, you know, literally, that's a good tweet to come about, right here. Like, this is crazy. Does this look like stalking? Blast from the past. There we go. That's a crazy tweet to just come across, isn't it? Isn't that a little wild? I'm definitely gonna make sure this doesn't get deleted. They were not interested in following you after all. Do this for the algorithm. Got to type in her last name. Crazy, right? I don't know. I think it's funny. You guys think that's funny? Like, in a sense, like, Ben Shapiro's like, look, you could just leave. Like, you don't have to be here. That was in 2023. Isn't that crazy? Guess they forgot about that. What?
PR.
There we go.
I'm like, no, you go, I don't know.
That several times.
I just don't know. I don't know. I'm waiting for stuff. Like, that's the obvious thing.
It's the only honest thing you've ever said so far. I don't know. But then you don't really mean it. And you end up pretending like you know. Because you know, no, but you don't know, but you don't know, no, but you know, no, no. Maybe no, yes, no.
To say
no?
is like, you don't know, because that's how a human would feel, is I don't know. Erica also be angry. The Egyptian plane thing. It's not funny. No, you should go. I don't know. That is really strange. I don't know. And I'm going to,
maybe you should show those flight logs again, Candace. You promised. Please? Anyway, a Hot Pocket for $20 says, Candace wraps replacement lies, Frankist conspiracies, and Jew hatred in Christian garb. Just as Satan turns ministers into angels of light, 2 Corinthians, there we go. I could not think of how to pronounce that for a second. 2 Corinthians 11:14. She invents problems, repels atheists, and stumbles believers. It seems like it. It seems like it to me. You know what I mean? I'll have to get done with studying this for sure before I feel like I have the authority to say so. You know what I mean? But I do appreciate you coming in and saying that, because it does seem that way. It absolutely does. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Say that 5 times fast, Artie. 2 Corinthians 11:14. Was that the part? Or was it Hot Pockets? You want Hot Pockets really fast. Was that it? No. Thank you so much. And yeah, well said, Hot Pocket. Thank you. That is very, very kind of you.
Contacts, and I'm going to ask Kash Patel to employ, because that's how humans would feel. And this is the normal trajectory of human emotion after watching your husband be assassinated. Also, go away. No Zoom calls.
So
even if
true.
she's like, I'm ready, like how to manage a psychopath. No, psycho, get back into bed, pretend.
I mean, that's crazy. Now she's calling Erica Kirk a psycho. It's wild, you know? I mean, she just absolutely has no shame. No shame. People who don't have shame or restraint really bother me.
You're crying, okay?
Right.
Pretend you can't get out of bed. Maybe lose 10 pounds or eat or gain 20 pounds, one or the other direction, like you emotionally eat or emotionally don't eat. And yeah, going to restaurants, celebrating and laughing at the memorial, like all of that can't happen. So they needed a
How about joking about Charlie's death? Can that happen? Is that allowed? Are you supposed to be joking about Charlie's death? Because that's what you did. You joked about his death. You thought it was funny to joke about Charlie Kirk's death. That's interesting, right?
psychopath to manage what happened afterward.
Exactly.
Don't take down all of his stuff. You just keep saying his voice is going to live on forever. Everything they did ran so counter to how a normal human being would have reacted. And so all they had was money. That's what psychopath understands. Money equals power, right?
Power
so they were like, well, we have money,
money
so we'll just spend money on
equals
influencers.
time.
Telling people as Ali Stuckey did yesterday, that this is a spiritual sickness. Your soul is in
Wait, did you
peril.
say
If you have
Ali
any
Stuckey
questions about it,
yesterday? No, she didn't, right? I misheard that, right? Like, there's no way I just heard that.
money, so we'll just spend money on influencers telling people, as Ali Stuckey did yesterday, that this is a spiritual sickness.
Oh, as Ali did. I thought she said to Ali Stuckey. Never mind. Yeah, I don't believe you, Candace. I don't believe that happened at all.
Your soul is in peril. If you have any questions about Erica, okay, thanks, Ali. We'll just keep pretending these lies were normal and like.
Okay, well, if that's what she said, that is silly. You can question Erica Kirk. I don't mind that. It's whenever you make baseless accusations. That's my problem. That's my problem, and I'll stick to that. You can question anybody over everything, and there's a respectful way too. There's a respectful way to question people, even about their own husband's death. You could be like, I don't know. I question, though, do you really think that, it could have been just as easy as Tyler Robinson and that's it? Do you think anything else was behind it? And if Erica Kirk goes no, and I'd be like, well, why not? Like, you don't think that maybe even, like, I don't know, Trantifo was behind it? Or maybe there's an underground leftist group that maybe sent this kid? You know what I mean? Like, there's a respectful way to question somebody about this. But Candace never did that. No, she went for the attack. She said Erica Kirk betrayed Charlie. TPUSA betrayed Charlie. She said that Erica Kirk's a black widow. Like, that's not asking questions. That's so beyond the pale. That's actual direct accusation. That's what that is. Nothing about this is you questioning anybody, Candace. You are directly accusing them of wrongdoing and a cover-up. You said several times TPUSA and Erica Kirk are involved in a cover-up. That's accusing them of murder. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what exactly she's accusing them of. She doesn't have any proof to say that they were doing anything. No proof whatsoever. That's the problem, Yes, she's an a-hole. That's the word that popped in my head when I hear a name. Candox tried to hire the armed queer forces and trying to uncover. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly it, Not calling them actual perpetrators is just giving them a free pass from being scrutinized. Exactly. This is all just, it's all so silly. It's all so silly that people are falling for this, Mex Chica for the 5. I was late to the stream. Your Gideon story is cool. Gideon asked God for a sign too. Did he really? I did not know that. So read Judges 5-6. I didn't read it. I decided not to read it because I wanted to save it for when I got there. Are you serious? That's crazy. Judges 5-6. Where's Judges? Proverbs, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel. Okay, it was close to the middle of the book, to be fair, I think. Or maybe not. Psalms, Nehemiah, Chronicles. I'm just flipping through. Kings, Samuel. Oh, Judges. Oh, it's not even close to the middle of the book. Sure heard after them unto Gideon and slew 2,000 men. What did he ask for a sign? Oh, this is a lot longer than I thought. Wait, Judges where? Okay, wait. You gave specific. Judges 5-6. Ah, right. That narrows it down quite a bit. If I actually paid attention. I'm sorry about that. 5-6. Okay. Let's see. Of course, fought against, let's see. I think it's up. Is it on 5? I have 4, 5, then I have 5, and then I have, 5 and 6. Here we go. Okay. My bad. They have not sped. They have not, let's see. I don't know. I'll probably have to look at this later. I don't want to get too much dead air, but that's really cool. I actually did not know that. That's crazy. Thank you so much for that information. I'm gonna copy this and post it in my browser here, and remember to go to it. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much for that info. That's wild. No, that's just absolutely wild information. Thank you so much. That's very kind. And thank you for the $5 super chat, too. That's very nice of you.
We'll go, that's fine, spend money on Graham Allen every day saying, anybody who questions Erica, like, we can see what's happening here. You're not going to ultra us into believing that her actions are normal because we're human.
Yeah, and isn't it weird how everyone is okay to criticize everyone else? I don't know if you remember this, when Trump was running, I mean, things that were said about Melania or, people were mean as hell. Nothing like that was said about Erica.
No.
And somehow we are...
Nobody accused Melania of murder. What are you talking about? These people are actually psychotic. These people they belong in a mental institution for even saying that. They said nasty things about Melania, but nothing nearly as bad. Erica Kirk did not experience anything as bad as Melania. Melania, she went there, she killed that guy. Melania went in there with a 50 caliber, and she stormed the beach of Normandy. It was beautiful. Something like that. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody accused Melania of any wrongdoing like that. Like, even the left is not that mean to Melania. You know what I mean? Like, they try. They're not nice to Melania. But in all fairness, there's not a lot you could say bad about Melania because she's always in a good light. She has zero controversy. Like, other than the fact she's with Trump. I don't hardly see the left go after Melania that often because it's such a bad look. Even the left knows if they go after Melania, it's not going to ever look good for them. So they just don't, and it's smart. Who could attack Melania? What has Melania done that was even remotely controversial? Oh no, she literally fixed the Rose Garden. Jacqueline Kennedy's Rose Garden. She cut out dead trees, too. Why was that bad? And the Rose Garden looks beautiful.
Again, gaslighted into this that you can't touch her. You can't touch her. No. I don't want to touch her at all if she just stayed away. But here's the thing. When you come out as a public figure and you do all this, you are going to be a subject of talk, whether you like it or not. I'm sorry.
You don't get to skip it.
Exactly.
You don't get to skip it.
Yeah.
My life has felt like one long public autopsy, right? And that's because Charlie and I went through that. They started going through his life, looking into scandals, all of this stuff. I remember it's like, okay, well, this is what it means to be a public figure. And they're basically going, well, she gets to just graduate and no one can look into her and she's untouchable. And by the way, she's going to have more power than ever because this organization is taking in, it took in $250 million in like the last quarter or something.
Exactly.
I think more actually. And they're going, you can't say anything because we're just going to keep throwing down the widow card. No, she's not the widow. She is the chairman and the CEO of a company.
Imagine that. No, she's not the widow. She's a chairman and CEO. Candace, do you think that her getting the job all of a sudden made like all the grief about Charlie Kirk go away? None of that makes sense. Why would you even say that? She's not the widow. She is a widow. She is a widow. She lost her husband. And now all of a sudden you're like, that's not good enough. That's not good enough at all. Like, that's actually a crazy stance to take. You know, most people hear that and think you're crazy, right? So here we go. This is what the Rose Garden looks like right now, by the way, guys. Looks beautiful. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening out here. But this is what the Rose Garden looks like at the moment. 3 days ago. That's absolutely gorgeous. Although I'm pretty sure all these are tulips or something like that. But it looks pretty there. I don't know. That's Melania's biggest controversy right here. Like, I can't think of anything that was bigger.
Company where a public assassination took place.
By choice, by the way. No, not
by
public,
choice.
but by choice. She's a CEO by choice.
By choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And beyond that, they're saying it's out of, as she came out, as it was out of public duty, or private duty, I guess, to her husband, because apparently we're supposed to believe that Charlie had the exact opposite ideas in private than what he expressed publicly. That's BS, okay? And he just 2 weeks before he died, something overcame him. And he said, hey, if anything ever happens to me, if I ever get shot in the neck, I want Erica to become the CEO and chairman.
Yeah, that's not how that was phrased at all. But okay, good try, Candace. You keep adding words to all of your stuff. You keep adding so many layers to all of this. And it's because this video is for your audience. Literally, she's so much more comfortable just lying directly on screen whenever it's like some sort of interview where people are agreeing with each other and they just feed into their audience. Like, this is crazy. This is cope.
And they have an opportunity to present that video and they just don't want to present it. They grifted off of every possible thing you can grift off of, including the tent he died under, which was available for photo ops at AmFest. But the actual footage of him saying that, which would have been so powerful, so emotionally motivating, it would have made people get behind her even if they didn't think she was qualified for the job, right? It'd be like, oh gosh, that's like the last video of Charlie saying this. Okay, if that's your last wish, I'll do it. No, they can't release that video.
Yeah, that tent was so weird. If someone did that to a friend of mine, I'll bury everyone. Like, I would be, are you out of your mind? What are
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
you doing?
Approved
That's
by
a
Elizabeth
normal person's
McCoy.
reaction. Yeah.
Wow.
Her idea went in the room. They thought it was a good idea.
This
They
is
all approved
cringe.
it. Again, the roost has to be being ruled by psychopaths. Anybody else would just be like,
Yeah.
no, obviously we shouldn't do that. That's very
This is weird.
strange. It's weird. It's haunting. It feels like a seance of some description. We're not doing that. And they're
It's
just
not
like,
funny, but it's just so
beyond
funny.
that. There's
Yeah,
no
it's just-
human. I'm like, is
yeah.
there a human in sight
Yeah.
at Turning Point USA?
Yeah.
Just a human. Just bring in a human. And just,
Yeah.
what is your job? I am human. You know,
Oh, this is just an arm-breaking fest. Let's put it that way.
like, what is your official title? Human. I just shut down every idea
In
Blake
charge
Neff
of human
has.
reactions. In charge of
in charge of HR, human reactions.
Yes.
Like, and I'm like, that's why I make a joke on my podcast. Hire me, run it by me. I'll be like,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
obviously, no, you shouldn't do that. And so they are thinking that they can spend their
Yes.
way into editing public opinion, and they are learning in a. I mean, just listen. Sorry, I just have to. The recent speech she gave.
Yes.
There's not a human, right? There's not a human that.
Literally saying Erica Kirk is not a human, dehumanizing her. That's cool. You know, just remember that, Candace. Like, what goes around comes around there. Seriously. I mean, she's so comfortable calling Erica Kirk less than human. And yet, when has Erica Kirk done that to Candace? Anything like that?
There's so many things that
Yes.
should not have happened. Like, just go.
Yes.
No humans.
No,
They're sentinels.
I'm with you.
I am
This-
now down for the conspiracy that we're
By the way,
fighting.
Yeah, I'm
sentinels.
sure you are. I'm sure you're okay with calling people non-human. You would so love it if people did that to you.
told it with Tucker too. I knew they would out Tucker at some point.
Of course. That's
Yeah,
what he was
they
fighting
were
at the
just-
end.
Yeah.
I want Candace back. Tucker,
Yes.
they're trying to get rid of Tucker. No, you can't have Candace back. His last day, he texted people at Turning Point USA saying, I want Candace. September 9th. And that wasn't just that chat that you saw. He also
Cool. Why didn't Charlie want that?
Yeah.
texted more people saying, I want Candace back.
Why didn't Charlie ever want you back? I'm curious. Why did he kick you to the curb?
Because he woke up to what was around him. And I was always,
Exactly.
as I was, I took Charlie, I don't like that person. Vibes.
Yep, exactly. And that was part of my game that I told you I wanted to play. Imagine for a second that these people.
Jeez, I would be so irritated if somebody came up to me when I didn't like that person at all. I'd be like, thanks for your input. Cool. They seem fine to me.
Had been just
Rude.
slightly smarter. And when Charlie passed away and was killed in a manner that he was, imagine if they came out and said, you know what, we are going to honor Charlie's last wishes and we're going to have Candace, open his ceremony or something like that, or Tucker, or bring people that Charlie wanted back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's funny about this is you guys had no problem with Erica Kirk her first 3 months of being CEO. Y'all were totally fine with it. Y'all thought it was normal. You know, it's funny how things change, right? Very funny how that works. Jacqueline Brennan for the $2 says, Artie, NS said on PBD that he was Charlie Kirk's last guess. Who's NS? Who am I thinking there? NS. Nick Shirley? Is that Nick Shirley? Said on PBD he was Charlie Kirk's last guest. Was he? Was it not aired? Was Nick Shirley not aired on his channel? Claire for $5 also says they aren't human, but grifting for 8 months obsessively over a man who wasn't even your friend before he died is totally normal. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for that, by the way, Jacqueline Brennan. Yeah, Nick Shirley. Was it not aired? That's what I want to know. I'll try and find it. Thank you so much for that as well, Claire. And then we have Ginger Soy. I think I said that right. There is nothing but Candace to be envious of. Or nothing about Candace to be envious of. You are correct. You are correct. Other than she has a big audience, I mean, I'm a little envious of that. But I would never want to... If coming with that big of an audience comes with that many people who are insane, I think I'll pass. You know what I mean? I think I would pass. But yeah, it's, I guess the only aspect is the fact that she is successful, and it's like, dang. Like, it sucks to see someone successful who just absolutely shreds people apart for a living with no evidence. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a mean thing to do. It's such an evil thing to do. It's hard to wrap my mind around it, you know? Like, I don't think I could sleep at night doing that. But Shirley was not interviewed by Charlie. Maybe there's like an unreleased Charlie episode? I don't know. It could happen. I mean, maybe they don't want to release. I can understand why they wouldn't really want to release anything new by Charlie yet. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. But Charlie did not interview him. I don't know. I mean, it could be cool if it came out. Maybe they thought, like, it wouldn't be the right time to release that. Or maybe they're trying to figure out if they want to release it or not. Maybe, I don't know. It's just, I can understand why that episode wouldn't get released, you know, in the moment that Charlie had that happen. And then if they're talking about things that are only current events, I don't know. It's one of those things to where I can understand why that video would be a tough one to release at that point, because it's like nothing that they would be talking about would be relevant today, because that was like 9 months ago, you know what I mean? It could. It was on Charlie Kirk's show with Andrew the day Charlie was at UVU. Okay, I'll have to look at it. I'll have to pull it up. I know he interviewed somebody at that point in time, but in Cash Patel, I thought it was Cash Patel they interviewed, though. Maybe I was wrong about that. Maybe I'm confusing things, but I thought it was Cash Patel. Nick Shirley was the final guest on Charlie Kirk's show September 10. Same day it was ended. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay. I thought it was Cash Patel for some reason. I don't know why. Huh. I'll definitely look into that after this.
At least play the game better.
Thank you so much again,
But do you think that part of it was they just didn't care? They just thought they were too powerful. They didn't have to play the game.
I think that because I believe Charlie was assassinated as a part of a broader conspiracy, I think also they, in their minds, were trying to delude the public into thinking that his legacy was Israel. I mean, Trump, within minutes of his death, posted a photo of Charlie hugging an Israeli flag with an American flag. Bibi comes out and tries to assert, I just spoke to him. I just invited him to Israel. So we were instantly getting hit with, like, Israeli propaganda. And, like, so almost like the best...
No, it's not that I'm not up to date. It's that there's a delay in the stream. You know, I'm actually like several minutes ahead of you guys, just letting you know. So it just happens, you know what I mean?
Way to honor Charlie is to remember how much he loved Israel, and that registered as strange. Just registered as not the right time. This is very strange. And for people who knew how his opinions were shifting, as I did toward the end, it registered as especially strange. And then they fought that and said it wasn't true, no. And then people went, okay. I think that was the whole purpose. That was the whole reason that they immediately had Ben Shapiro on his show. I mean, the disrespect of that is stunning, right? You're supposed to hate the people he hated extra after he's dead. Even if it's not, like I said, even if it's not righteous anger, you should still experience it, because you should, if you want to misplace and be angry, you'd be like, and you did this to him in high school. I don't even like you. You know, you made him feel sad in 8th grade. Like, that's how I felt. Like, any person who did anything to him. I remember.
Well, okay, so I'm not necessarily in the future. I see your message instantly and respond about instantly, Zowie. So you just, like, hit that, and then Pip-Boy just popped up. Now Quantum Mulus just popped up. But my stream is delayed to you guys. So while I'm talking to you exactly whenever you leave a message, you won't see that for, like, another minute or something like that. It's a decent delay, maybe even 30 seconds. So it's like, by then, we're already talking about a different subject, and I'm with you guys, but the stream is delayed. It's just how YouTube works. Like, you just have a natural delay on this by a long amount, actually. It kind of sucks. That's why whenever I do the stream, believe it or not, whenever I go later, I sit there and I watch my stream until I see myself do that, and when I see myself do that, I know to end the stream right then and there. You know what I mean? So that's why, it's just odd. I'll have to show you guys exactly what I mean. I will show you guys exactly what I mean. I know exactly how I'll do that. Remind me at the end to show you this delay. It's crazy, okay? I'll show you. It's actually wild. Oh, wait, no, I can just do it right now. What am I, silly? Here, hold on. Okay. So, I'm going to show you from my perspective, okay, with this right here, okay? Now, I'm going to doop. And this is where I'm at. Like, literally, this is all caught up. And then you'll see me. There it is. See? That's how far the delay is. I guess it's not as fast as I said. It's probably like 15 seconds, you know? But yeah, that just, I don't know. It can be a little laggy.
I remember a journalist
Gosh,
that like
face.
emailed, and I was like, "Are you out of your mind?" I remember how you tortured Charlie, writing article, and you wanted to like despicable.
All of these friends
Didn't
all of a
get
sudden
that.
became best friends of Charlie Kirk.
Didn't
and
get
they're
that.
opening
Candace, you had a huge falling out with the guy. Like, who are you to talk about this? Like, you did not talk to Charlie at all in 2024? 2024, like, 2025 as well. You did not talk to the guy. You guys almost didn't talk for 2 years.
the ceremonies, and it's pathetic,
Yeah.
man. That's what it is. It's pathetic.
Wanting to open like, and that's why I
Wow.
say, there's an element of this, and Megan Kelly, I think she said on her show, she was talking about the obsession that Mark Levin kind of has with her. And it's deranged and it's
It is.
crazy.
It's the
And then the
same
gaslighting,
obsession
when she
Larry has for
replies,
you.
they're like, "Oh my
Yes.
God, what happened to Megan?" It's like, what do you mean what happened to Megan? Do you see what he's like, what
Yes.
she's enduring right now?
Yes.
But she said something like, I think if he could physically harm me, like he would. And that's what I keep trying to get people to understand.
That's so psychotic. Absolutely not. Like, you are crazy. How dare you make such a claim? Like, you are actually claiming now that this guy would try to hurt you? That Ben Shapiro would try to hurt you? Like, it's so disgusting. So absolutely disgusting. Grow up. Actually grow up. Let's see. So this person, Savannah Jacob Kennedy, is who I'm looking for.
That's real. That is how I feel about Ben. There is something not right with him, that he was able to do it. That he was able to instantly say, "I'll pick up the bloody mic." Everybody knows how he felt about him. This is the worst kept secret in politics. It's not even a secret. Andrew Colvin admitted that on the day that he died, he was upset with Andrew for making him interview Ben the day before. I mean, he admitted it in his New York Times interview. He was like, "Now you have to host a show because you made me interview him." Everybody knew this, right? But think about what it takes spiritually to not feel some sort of shame, to just be able to go out there, to go to his memorial, to go sit in the chair of his studio and to give $1 million and to sort of try to like assert yourself into his legacy. What is wrong with you? There are people I don't like in politics.
Hey, interesting fact here, by the way, guys. Okay, never mind. Not interesting fact. The @real Candace Owens' manager, she did remove that off of her Instagram. Now they still follow each other.
Politics, and I don't have
send a
real
message.
beef with, like, I don't like Barry Weiss. I don't like her, right? I'm like, I think she's just like not talented, not a real person, and annoying, right? But I have no like personal beef with her. But if, God forbid, something happened to Barry Weiss, you think that I could stomach being that sleazy? No. Oh, I'm gonna go to Memorial. I'm gonna see if I can try to speak on her behalf and pretend that I'm gonna take on her legacy. That gives me the spiritual ick. I couldn't stomach myself. The fact that they can is why I say, like, spiritually, we are dealing with something different.
Yeah, something is very wrong with them for sure. And it gives me Alan Dulles vibes. I mean, guy, it was not enough to kill the president. He had to come back and lead the investigation as if they couldn't find another person to put in charge. Like, no, he had to do it. Almost like in your face, like that kind of stuff. Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. So you got to tell me, how did you manage to piss off two presidents?
Honestly, it was,
So one,
I'm talented.
Yes,
I'm
you
very
are. Yes, you
talented.
are.
I was like, it's so funny because George and I were discussing, like, leading up to when we started getting, I mean, just even receiving a letter from a sitting president of a foreign country. It's like, does this happen ever in?
Who cares if it's happened or not? You probably shouldn't have, like, I don't know, slandered. You shouldn't have said something you couldn't prove. That's the point, Candace. Don't say things you can't prove. That's all it is. If you didn't do that, you wouldn't have any issues.
Like the history of the world. So I was thinking,
Not often.
I was like, I think this is just to shut me up. Having a president call you and ask you not to talk about like the gender of a foreign leader.
Right.
It's
You assume you accused her of having a Frank. For real. Like, look, I don't know if she does or doesn't. I don't know if he does or doesn't, okay? But I'm not gonna ever just make a video and be like, haha, I'm gonna say this for a matter of fact when I haven't even seen the thing. Like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
wife is just very, all of this is very strange. And I have to tell you, I was like, oh, of course they're not going to actually sue.
Right.
Like I was like, because that's just so crazy. That
It is.
that would be world history. It's never happened in the history of the world. Like, a sitting president. I'm like, this is just like, of course not. This is crazy. And then when we got the lawsuit, I was like, my goodness, this is like, I've made world history. And then my husband actually researched, and no, it's been done one other time. I'm gonna have Skylar them look up the president. It was sued somebody in Hawaii or something. I can't think of what country. It's a very obscure country. Sued a sitting president, sued someone, and he lost a lawsuit. And I was like, darn, I almost made history. It's only happened one other time in world history, but it's bonkers, and it doesn't signal to the public that I'm lying. It signals to the public that I am very much telling the truth. This is not normal.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't signal that at all, Candace. You need to provide proof of what you say. If you're going to make an accusation, make sure you can back the accusation. Judgy Juris for the $2 says, so something is wrong with everyone but her. Exactly. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Oh, no, it's not the ball bearing on my left tire, or on my left steering, not crankshaft, axle. It's not the, rear left bearing on my axle that's the problem. It's the whole rest of the car. You know what I mean? I need to take that bearing out and get an entire new vehicle. That's what Candace Owens is saying. That is insane. That's not the transmission going out. It's the whole rest of the vehicle that's the problem. That's the issue here we're seeing. It's absolutely crazy. Oh, S-Files, you got to go? Well, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you here around. Thank you very, very much. Thank you all for being here, by the way. If you guys are new here, please give me a like and subscribe. It's really all I ask for. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are awesome. Every one of you guys. So yeah, I don't know. It's so silly. All this is silly. And thank you so much again, Judgy Juris. I think I'm saying that right. I hope I'm saying that right.
Well, this is not how you react. People say things about Trump. Could you imagine opening the gate to this, by the way, of foreign leaders being able to sue? I mean, whew. Vladimir Putin's just going to be dropping lawsuits every day. Like, you called me this, you had no evidence, you called me a killer, you did this. It's
and winning, by the way.
Right, it would be winning. He will win. The things that have been said. You said we were colluding with Russia. I'm suing. Like, that is the opening that gateway to even the pretense of that is like, whoa, what did we land upon? Yeah. What did we land upon that has you shook? And again, you see this as a PR strategy because she's not suing me for saying that she was born a dude. Right. Anybody that can read a lawsuit, that is not what this is about. She is suing me for saying she stole her brother's ID. She's suing me for mentioning MK Ultra as being the day of her fake birthday, that they established, which it was, MK Ultra. And Jean-Michel Trogneau did happen to go missing. Brigitte says, oh, I was here for the moon landings. I'd like to hear more about that. What were you doing in 1969 in the moon landings in America? And
you don't want to answer that question. That's already loaded.
A lot of evidence that Jean-Michel Trogneau came to America for a spell and was doing stuff in the military. They have sealed his file, won't let people access it to defend themselves. Why?
Don't give me that kind of power.
It's aged out. It's supposed to be public record, publicly accessible, and they won't do it. And hey, why don't you just show up somewhere with your brother and just debunk all of the rumors? Have your brother sit for an interview and say, oh yeah, I'm the brother, I'm a little camera shy, but this has gotten ridiculous. So,
or just ignore me. Just ignore me. Yeah. If I'm so wrong and I'm crazy and I'm a clown, you know how many clowns?
You know how hard it is to ignore somebody with millions of followers that are now harassing you and doing awful things? You know what I mean? And now here's the thing. If Candace is correct, well then I'm not going to care. I'm going to actually side with Candace on it, of course. Why wouldn't I side with somebody who's correct? That's just would be silly to not do that. But the problem is even if she's correct, I still will have one simple criticism. Even if Candace is right about every single thing she says, the fact that she makes accusations and refuses to show evidence, it's not good. That's the wrong way to go about it, no matter whether you're right or wrong. That's one of my biggest problems. Now, of course, if she's right, I do owe her an apology, to a degree. But I will still hold her accountable and say, you owe us an apology for making us, shaming us for not believing you without evidence. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, to a degree, no matter what, she did things wrong. I will gladly, admit that I'm wrong. But the way she's going about it is awful. It should be the way nobody ever, ever, ever does it. You know what I mean? There's no reason to be like this. There's no reason to put information out there without proof. That is so unbelievably disrespectful to your viewers. Not just the people who you're slandering, but to your viewers. You're treating us like we're idiots.
Are out there speaking, about Vladimir Putin, Trump, everybody. Just ignore me.
Yeah, why are you taking trips to the White House and asking the president to shut down a podcast?
And then tell him that, as I understand, he told him he would help out.
I mean, why? I mean, they might as well try anything if they don't want it to happen anymore, right? They're French. They don't have any power. They wave the white flag. Come on. No, seriously, why wouldn't they ask?
With Russia or something like that? Or
well, the Ukrainian war caged it, but I don't believe him, obviously.
I mean, think about it. In France, they literally will arrest you for posting the N-word. You know what I mean? They arrest you for making social media posts. Do you think they wouldn't ask the president of the United States to crack down on you? They probably don't even understand how that works. They're in France. They're in Europe. Europe is literally falling to communism right now. How do you think that works? Why wouldn't they ask you? You're like, oh, why would they do that in such a free constitutional country? Candace, really? You asked that? For real? You use your head.
And I think Sergio Gore was kind of pulling the strings on that. But it was basically, if you stop talking about this, because I just need you to do that for negotiations, like trying to end the Ukraine war. And so principally, I was like, I'm happy to take a temporary vow of silence.
No, she did accuse Ukraine of being involved in a genocide. Like, Russia's genociding Ukraine. So, I mean, she is going that route. She did say that, so got to give that to her, I guess. The consistency of the wars that she disagrees with are genocides. It's so easy to just claim genocide on everything now that you don't like.
On this, because I don't want to be responsible for Christian men being slaughtered in the East. But obviously, eventually, I want to talk about this because this is an important case, where somebody is...
I don't think it's an arrestable offense.
...in power who harmed a child, and it is also getting into, the occult and the things that they do and the grooming that takes place. And I've not edited my opinion without question. Brigitte was born a dude. And so now it's about, are we going to bankrupt you for knowing? Well,
how is that an opinion, though? That's not even... She thinks it's an opinion.
One of the things that's, I feel like I am willing to take a lot of this repeated attempts to blackmail me is because what they are at risk of exposing. Everyone's paying attention to these cases, right?
Exactly.
These are not quiet cases. You're not going after a random person.
That's funny.
They're exposing themselves. They're going to expose themselves in the process. Like with the Charlie Kirk case, they wanted everyone to stop talking about it. Everyone's reading every document. So the question really is to the government. How far are you willing to take it? Because at the end of the day, when people realize it's all an illusion and that you're just going to stick stuff on an innocent person, try to destroy them, you will end up with a revolution.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Gotta love those leftist talking points.
And before we wrap up,
revolution.
I gotta ask you, what was it like when you met Erica Kirk the first time?
I remember meeting Erica at Del Frisco's.
And I bet you just hated her from the start. I bet you did.
Did Charlie introduce you guys? Was it with Charlie?
Okay. He wanted me to come meet her. And I was excited to meet her because she was giving him attention. And what I mean by that is, out of respect for their marriage, I won't get into too much detail about
Bruh. You were excited to meet her because she was giving Charlie so much attention? There's no way she just said that. This is not gonna go well. I can already tell this is gonna be a very, very bad statement. Where is she gonna go with this? She better be so careful.
The time before he met her, it's not offensive to the marriage. It's like obviously people like try to date before, and he was trying to date this girl that he was totally obsessed with.
Trying to date this girl he was obsessed with, huh? How did that end? Oh yeah, they got married and had kids, Candace. Choose your words wisely.
And
don't let the mask slip.
This girl that he was chasing, it's kind of one of the worst kept secrets. It was like me and Don Jr. were trying to help him navigate this. And, because I was always with Charlie, basically every time this other girl would text him, like I was texting her back. Like I basically had to become a lesbian for a year as he chased this girl. So questions back. I'm like, Charlie.
Well, okay, she didn't just help those accusations out at all. That's crazy. Okay.
At some point, you're gonna have to text her yourself. Like everything you'd screenshot. What should I say? Blah blah blah. And like kind of, he always
Woman's
believed
opinion,
if I work hard enough, I can like get this girl. That was his mentality, and he was just obsessed with her. Like reading back on those messages of this girl.
Well, okay. So you take full responsibility for getting Charlie Kirk killed now, right? Is that it? Do you have any guilt with that, Candace? Is that what it is? You were the one who set him up. You're the one who's texted all of Erica, all those things. You're like, all those messages that you thought came from Charlie, came from me. So creepy. This is so creepy. I really genuinely have a feeling that if Candace could, she would harm Erica Kirk. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that, or am I not allowed to have that privilege?
Who then became one of my best friends and was in my wedding because of how much I felt like I was.
Were you at his wedding? Did you go to his wedding? Your best friend?
Chasing her, because I liked her a lot, that the girl he was chasing, and I knew that she was going to let him down because it was very obvious that she wasn't into him.
Yeah.
And because he was kind of young in those ways, and she was younger than him, but younger girls, older guys, sort of a thing.
Oh, is this a different girl she's talking about? Well, let's see here where she goes.
Yeah.
Charlie, I basically kind of forced him, and I was like, you need to go sit down with her and you need to ask her. Like, it's been a long time. I've been messaging this girl a lot, and I think you need to just sit down and say, is this something or it's not? And I knew she was going to let him down, and she did. And he was heartbroken about it. I mean, like truly heartbroken about it. And
this is still weird. So for a year, she was the one. You know what? I can understand though why she did not say yes to Charlie when she was talking to this one. That would check out. That would check out really well. You know what I mean? She's probably like, good Lord, this dude's a psychopath. And really, Candace is on the other end just, you know what I mean? Like, that's probably what really went down right there. This is hilarious, to be honest. Knowing this, I think we can infer probably what happened.
As someone who viewed him as a little brother, obviously you don't, like, I wanted to like find, like, just like, Charlie, it's okay. Like, you're going to find a girlfriend, whatever. And so when Erica, then Tyler Boyer sets up this, like,
here,
I have this person for you to meet.
Jackal.
And
thank you so
he
much.
comes and he's like, oh, well, she's a bit older. And initially he was like, I'm just going to use her to try to like get so-and-so jealous or whatever. Because this was like the first date or whatever. And then she was a bit more persistent and giving him the godly spiel. And the messages, and I'm just going through our messages, like, look, this is maybe what God wanted me to have. And,
this is super inappropriate to bring up, by the way, but okay.
He was sort of wrapped in on, hooked on that because Charlie was a Christian. And so when I went to meet her, my thought process was, this is probably just going to be a girlfriend, but I'm glad because this will nurse his, like, broken heart. And also he'll realize there's other people, and great. Obviously, my first instinct as a woman was that she was older than me. And I just thought, that's kind of weird that she would be into Charlie, because Charlie's quite young in those ways. He's absolutely.
Yeah, well, okay. As long as you think it's weird and you never had feelings, right?
Genius. He's got so much going for him, but like, he's young in those ways. Like, I'm like telling this kid to like wear a suit that fits him, and he was inexperienced, and he's been
You are so creepy, Candace.
very open about the fact that like he was a virgin when he got married. So I don't feel like I'm oversharing here. And when I met her, I just
Oh, sorry.
Sounds to me like this is the opposite problem, Candace. You are way oversharing here. I didn't even need to know that. None of us needed to know that, Candace. That was a pretty private thing there, but okay, just blast that out there like you did with Erica Kirk's mom having Lyme disease. That was not news until you broke it. This is insane.
Hold on. Was Charlie Kirk virgin? What?
Yeah, that's something he talks about.
Oh,
so
I
he was
didn't know
very,
that. How did I
he
miss
hadn't
that?
even
Wow.
had his first.
Wow, is that making you sweat, you freaky weirdo? Come on, Flo, like, stop being weird, please. This is, wow. I mean, just look at her. Look, like, I'm not even kidding. Look at this. Look at that. This is weird. This is getting weird. This is getting genuinely freaky.
That
kiss.
is so sweet.
Yeah,
Aw.
so that's why he was so unsure of himself in those ways. So confident. If you talk to him about anything else, he could debate anybody. But when it came to the girls, he was young.
That's why he
That's great. Let's stop talking about this now, guys. This is really inappropriate. I actually really wish you would stop with this.
never saw anything coming.
So when I met her, and to be clear, I'm gonna say I became best friends with the girl he was chasing. She was fun. I just nothing. Just what everyone kind of sees now. Just kind of okay. But
So you're saying Charlie was an idiot. He was a really stupid guy. That's what she's saying right now. Candace is saying Charlie had zero common sense. This is a dude who ran a multi-million-dollar company, by the way, who built it from nothing. Nothing. There was no company before that. He built TPUSA. He built Turning Point Faith. He built Turning Point Action. But you're right. Charlie was just stupid, Candace. You needed to be there to hold his hand for everything. You do realize Charlie was famous and way more famous than you before you got famous, right?
did not care, and I supported. I was like, go for this, go for this.
Right.
Every message will
But
show.
you were never friends with Erica.
No, because there just was
Like-
something like, I don't know, I can't
Did
explain
you
it.
ever think that she wanted it that way? Did you ever think that she wanted you out?
Hindsight is 2020.
Right?
Any proof of that? Charlie Kirk stopped talking to you in 2024. I want to know why.
Everything
There you go.
changed, but I just did not think that way because it's just not how I think. There was nothing when Charlie and I first started traveling together, I had a boyfriend, not my husband. I had a different boyfriend. And
Not
so
surprised.
it just, my brain didn't think this way.
Shout out to that boyfriend who got away. Good on you, man. You dodged. Oh, man, you dodged one heck of a life. I could tell you that.
With him. There was no
That's
There's
crazy.
sense
no
of-
reason to.
Yeah,
There was no
I
reason to.
invite
Charlie had
more.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if she's traveling with us, great. Like I want to get to know her. I want you to have a girlfriend. I wanted that so bad for him because I knew how much he wanted it. And that's how we were with each other. We constantly root each other on. Like we were always defending each other. We always root each other on. And so if this is going to be your girlfriend, I'm going to love her more than you do, sort of a thing. And same
Yeah, that's creepy, Candace.
with George when he met George.
Did you
first,
like him?
First he said this is going to be bad for your brand. I was like,
Aw.
Charlie, this is what I mean. He had these little autistic, like he would hate if I said that, but like autistic, like
All right, now you're calling him autistic. Great. You really don't think Charlie could have done a single thing without you. You are actually crazy.
qualities where I'm like, love is not a brand, Charlie. Like these are the sort of conversations I would have to him. Charlie, love is not a brand. Okay. It's like, and then he and George like just adored each other, and
Aw.
George was traveling with us. So he really got to know him. And then I have this message where he just was like, I just have a vision. And he's like, he's the right guy. And I see this so clearly for you, and it's whatever. And I always think back now and I get emotional about it. I genuinely think
Can you ever tell us why, though, you didn't attend his wedding?
that meeting George saved my life because it was right when it took me down a different path in life. I was very much in the turning point, and if I always think, what if I had stayed? And I was still doing tours with Charlie, but George took me down a different path.
Well, you couldn't have stayed. He kicked you out. So you didn't have a choice.
And I thank God for that. And it was all happened very quickly after Charlie had the vision about his death. Charlie had the vision about his death. Erica came into his life. They were dating sort of quietly. I meet George, fall head over heels, get married, get engaged 18 days later. And I just replay 2018 in my mind all the time. And then in 2019 was when suddenly I start to realize like forces are sort of
Some things just
new
happen
people are
because
arriving.
I mean, just according to Google here, guys, Google AI, Candace Owens was notably not invited to Charlie Kirk's 2021 wedding, a snub attributed to long-standing tension and alleged jealousy regarding Kirk's relationship with his wife, Erica Kirk. While the two were once close professional allies at Turning Point USA, their relationship reportedly fractured as Candace Owens became more controversial and Kirk began dating Erica in 2018. Key reasons for her absence: lack of invitation. Insiders claim Owen was excluded from the guest list, which was seen as a clear signal of their deteriorating friendship. Relationship friction. Sources suggest Owens felt usurped and jealous of Kirk when Kirk began dating Erica, leading to personal friction that preceded the wedding. Preceded the wedding, not proceeded. Professional separation. Although they maintained a public facade of friendship for some time, Kirk reportedly pushed her out of TPUSA around 2019 because she was becoming a little bit nuts, quote unquote, and difficult to manage. Who said a little bit nuts? Let's see this. I'm very curious. Did Charlie Kirk was used by a source quoted by the New York Post to explain why Charlie Kirk reportedly pushed her out of TPUSA in 2019? Really? Really now? And Charlie Kirk never ever pushed back on this? Hold on. Did Charlie Kirk ever push back on that quote? Let me see. There's no public record of Charlie Kirk pushing back on that little bit nuts quote. This is crazy. I didn't know this. Hold on a minute. Okay. Owens worked for TPUSA as a communications director between 2017 and 2019. Quote unquote, Charlie pushed her out because she was going a little bit nuts. Okay, that wasn't Charlie Kirk that said that, but a source told close to TPUSA brass claimed to the Post. But he noted he would still text her to keep the friendship going. Okay, so he did believe she was going nuts. Gotcha. After Charlie started dating Erica Kirk in 2018, the source added Owens was feeling usurped. Now, is this says 2025 right here, this picture? When was this article written? Hold on. No, this is, yeah, that's not a good thing. This article was written in 2025. Hold on. Let me see. Where's that quote? This might have gotten that wrong. That might have gotten that wrong then. I thought it was a 2019 article. Let me see here. Let's see. Was there an article claiming Charlie Kirk thought Candace Owens was nuts in 2019? We'll see here. There was no widespread reporting Charlie Kirk calling Candace Owens nuts at the time. Their public relationship was characterized as close as partnership. Okay, this was claimed in 2025. I can't use that source. That's after Charlie was gone. If there was something out there that, if Charlie Kirk had any accusation of him, like, essentially thinking she was nuts or something, and never, ever, ever, questioned it, I would have been like, dude, Charlie was alive and he knew this existed. You know what I mean? But because he wasn't around, it doesn't give it as much. I don't know. Characterizations only became prominent years later when Owens began promoting conspiracy theories about his death. Okay. That's unfortunate. I wish Erica Kirk would come out and blow the lid on what really happened and why Candace wasn't invited to the wedding. I really wish she would. At this point, anyway.
In his life, he's got a PR agent, Stacey Sheridan, and I'm going, these people are weird, but I never thought Erica, because I just thought this is didn't even look into her. Like,
Oh,
this
Candace
is just
did
going to be a girlfriend. And
interview
it's great
Charlie.
that he has a girlfriend.
Candace interviewed Charlie at PragerU after she left TPUSA. I'll have to look into that. I'll
And
pull
he's
that up.
getting, experience with the
Distracted and happy,
like
yeah.
I just rooted for him. So
Yeah, wow. How interesting. I think it was all, like I said, meant to be, because Charlie was on this path where he just, essentially sacrificed himself without him even
May
knowing
5th, 2019.
for American people to wake up.
that's what
And
he
you were
said.
there to fight for it.
He did know.
afterwards.
That's the scary part. He did know.
Oh, he did know, because he
predicted it.
felt it. But do you think that he kind of, so
He
was
said
like,
he said my death, and he kept telling me he would die. And these are in messages.
right.
So I shared it. He said that he was going to die from the moment he signed on a dotted line and Turning Point. He started having visions of his death and that he was going to die and he wasn't going to make it to see the end of the revolution, but that his death would be tied
Show proof, Candace. Please show proof.
to the revolution and that people would wake up. So the fact that Charlie knew that in 2018, it was the most haunting thing for me to reread, because at the time I was like, get some sleep. You're tired. And he said that he just constantly dreamed it. And then he died.
Candace, where does this battle take you now? And you're not alone in this. Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, these people. Poor Megyn. She accidentally ended up in the group.
Respect to Megyn Kelly.
Absolutely.
Because I would never, if you had told me to pick
woman.
who would be the person to,
Yeah.
I can't even explain to you how much it means to me. Like, because when I was just telling the truth and, hey, his views on Israel were shifting.
Right.
And they just spent all the money to have people come down on me. That was actually her crime, was she just said, his opinions on Israel were changing.
Right.
And it was crazy.
That was it.
That's it.
Yeah.
She told the truth about her.
Okay. Okay, check this out, guys. The PragerU, oh, wait. Here it is. Was the PragerU interview with Candace Owens and Charlie filmed before or after she left TPUSA? The PragerU interview between Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk on the Candace Owens Show was filmed and released shortly before she left Turning Point USA officially. Or before she, officially left TPUSA. The episode was published on May 2nd, 2019, just one day before Owens publicly announced her resignation. I think this might be wrong. Actually, it was published May 5th, 2019. On YouTube, anyway. Unless it was posted on a different platform. Timeline of the interview announcement, May 1st, 2019. Owens posted her resignation from TPUSA on Instagram. Interview released May 2nd, 2019. PragerU released the episode on there. Official departure, May 2019. What day was it filmed? See what it says on that. In publicly recorded in the show's metadata. However, based on the context of the series, we can narrow down the likely time frame. Let's see. Announcement content. PragerU confirms she was in the studio filming 2 of her very first videos for the platform. Oh. They may have filmed that back in March. The show launched in 2019 with an interview featuring Roseanne Barr. Proximity to exit, given the release date, May 2nd. The episode was almost certainly filmed in April, just weeks before her resignation from TPUSA is finalized. So it's a good possibility that she filmed it in April. And Charlie still, does he hint that they're still in? I wonder, because this is a whole hour-long interview. Who is Charlie? What is Turning Point USA? Controversial. How many times? Black Lives Matter empowerment. Chelsea Handler, Are You Happy? Toxic Feminism. Okay. All these chapters. I'm going to comb through this later, and we'll see. Oh, Ginger. For hold on. Ginger, for the $10 there. Thank you so much. You'd have to do reverse psychology and say no way you'd want to debate her. Make her seem intimidating. Then maybe she would agree to debate. Love your style. Thank you so much. Hey, maybe. Maybe we got to do that. Maybe we got to be a little snarky towards her. Maybe she'll, a little more. Do reverse psychology, though. I don't know if, I don't know. Would it work? Yeah. Maybe. Maybe it would work. We'll have to see. We'll have to put it to the test, right? Thank you so much, Ginger. That's very kind of you. Seriously, thank you so much. Nope.
her
There we go.
conversations. She had long conversations with Charlie about it. He came on her show. One of the last shows he did was Megyn Kelly venting about it, and they had conversations off record. Tucker Carlson told the truth. He has messages. And so that it was such an act of bravery. And then she just stood her ground on it. Stood her ground on it.
Absolutely.
She
No,
didn't
she's
stand her
awesome. I
ground.
give her
She
more
shifted.
credit because she comes from this very indoctrinated world of this, big media. And to be able to be strong enough to get out of it.
She completely shifted. She said you never, ever said anything bad about Erica Kirk, never accused her of murder, never did any of that stuff whatsoever. That's not brave. Lying is not brave. There's nothing brave about lying.
And, somehow find your own way and then become even more powerful. It's absolutely kudos to her. Talk about your faith.
My faith.
Yes, and how it
YouTube,
shows up in
it's
your
been doing
work.
that to me too. For some reason, I don't know what it is. It's like something to do with Chrome. But 3 times now, my chat has had to completely close out, and I've had to get back into it.
It's funny because, as I told you, I've spent the last 2 years studying theology full stop because I realize I always go back to when I met my husband and I was learning about him. Obviously,
Theology? Not the Bible? Okay. Interesting choice of words.
I guess I'm learning about him during the engagement because we were 18 days. But one of the things I thought was so weird was that he chose to read theology. We say majored, they say you read. And so he chose to read theology at Oxford. And I thought, wow, of all of the subjects, why would you want to pick theology? It sounds so boring.
Probably because of his bail group that he was in, the Bullington Club. Probably. If he's going to read just specifically theology and call it theology, I'm guessing it's probably the Baal worship that comes with the Bullington Club. We know it happens. It's documented. There's no way around it.
Boring, right? And the answer that he gave to me was that everything is guided by theology. The whole world is theology. And it didn't hit me. I was just like, okay, whatever, sounds fun. And he had made the decision to become a Catholic, even though he was raised in a strong Anglican household. Very big deal in England to become a Catholic, especially from an Anglican household. I just didn't sort of get what he meant by that. Everything is guided by theology. What do you mean by that? And so my journey was sort of this awakening to, oh no, everything is guided by theology. What is your
Yeah, see, that is the biggest problem I have. You said it definitely very, very well there, Angie. She literally makes Charlie out to be someone totally different than Erica or his public persona. Excellently worded, to be honest. That is exactly what she does. The Charlie Kirk she speaks of is not the Charlie Kirk that we see on his YouTube channel or in his debates or anything like that. She makes Charlie out to be a different person and very much not a nice person. You know what I mean? To a degree. On how he's handling certain situations, on, just in general. I don't think she realizes that. I think she thinks she's making him sound cooler than what he was, but it's not. You know what I mean? She just doesn't tell stories in a way that makes us recognize the Charlie Kirk we all see. And that's what gives me pause. It makes me think this can't be real.
theology, actually? What is moving you? He's like, that is the most motivating thing in the world. That is what motivates people, blind faith or an absence of faith. And when I started to, because I was just going to a non-denominational church at this time, and I now realize that all of these people who are quote unquote Christian influencers, they actually don't believe in heaven and hell, right? If you truly knew, truly believed that there was a heaven and that there was a hell, how would it correct your behavior? What risks would you be willing to take? What would you sacrifice? And for me, I know that heaven and hell is real. And so I am not bending the knee to Satan.
Here's the funny thing, though. The Bible never actually says hell. It talks about God casting Satan into the lake of fire, or I guess it's the archangel Michael, right? Who does that? Pretty sure. Maybe I'm a little rusty on this, but there is no burning for all eternity in hell. You do know that that's like a Dante's Inferno thing, right? You know what I mean? That's it is funny how that works. There's a heaven. Definitely mentions heaven. Does not mention hell. Again, you're thinking of Dante's Inferno.
Not for money. You can't take that with you when you go. not for houses, not for cars, not for friends, not for invites to Republican dinners with rubber chicken, not for more opportunities to speak to powerful people in DC. I am not exchanging my ticket to heaven for any of that. Okay. So that's what shapes everything. It shapes
And why don't you provide evidence for anything you claim?
everything for me. And so that the focus for me and for my husband is to make sure that we do not lose our tickets to heaven and that our children also do not lose their tickets to heaven. And I would love to see everybody there. You know, I hope everybody.
Children can't. It directly says in the Bible that children are innocent. Candace doesn't know anything about the Bible, does she? What are you talking about? That's crazy. The kids could just, they just lose their ticket. They could just lose their ticket, huh? I don't think so, Candace.
Everybody comes to know the one true faith. I hope that people realize it doesn't matter if they smear you or libel you or try to embarrass you or try to humiliate you, because this is a blip. Life is a blip.
It just crashed
blink,
again.
It'll be over. And then you are going to be welcomed or rejected into the eternal.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I love about you? Even with all this stuff that's going
Is it the hair? There we go. Wait, can I hold on. There we go. How's that? The Farquaad hair there. We're all going for the Farquaad look. How about that? Yeah. There. Something like that. I don't know. I can't fold my hair up and not make it look like I'm Pippi Longstocking or whatever. But you get the idea. You get the idea.
on. Like there's not ounce of hate I feel you have towards these people, not even tiny bit. After everything they've said, done to you, tried to destroy your family, tried to destroy your show, not ounce of hate.
Nobody's tried to destroy you, Candace. We're just asking for proof. Hello, lady, you're crazy. You're crazy. I just want proof for what she claims.
Candace, this is amazing.
Yeah, I don't wake up and because
Lord Farquaad
It's
for the win.
poisonous.
Farquaad gang.
I think about that when I think
Yes.
about the Daily Wire.
Yeah.
You've spent 3 years trying to destroy your enemies.
Yeah.
That is so corrupting to wake up every
Yeah.
day. I can't imagine like to my team, this is the directive. How do we destroy the Daily Wire? How it's like that is, oh God, you like
I mean, Candace Owens' literal motto here is, some of you may die, but it is a sacrifice I am willing to make. You know? I really hope that, of all things, the new Harry Potter coming out, obviously George Lithgow is Dumbledore, and that's the guy who played Lord Farquaad. So if he doesn't do that line, I'm going to be very disappointed.
could you imagine just the cloud
Not that I'm going to
just
encourage
descends
anybody to
on-
watch that slop that's coming out. The new Harry Potter is going to be garbage. But I will give it an extra point in its favor if he does that line as Dumbledore.
You end up destroying yourself when
Of
you do
course,
that. That's what
because
happened
it
to
is
Daily Wire.
destroying your spirit.
Yes.
You can't have
Yes.
success like that. And
Yes.
so I'm surrounded by too much happiness. I obviously just being
Are
around
you?
children every day. You're not. They don't
You
afford you
sound
to
like
make you
you're so
miserable.
happy.
It's why I started doing a co-homeschool situation.
She's so happy she has literally made enemies with every single person that she could possibly make enemies with. That's crazy.
I love to deal with toddler problems first. The first thing of the day,
Smart,
deal with toddler
smart.
problems. Realize what
Yeah.
really actually matters, what they're grappling with, and it has shaped me and has focused me. And so for me, just like my grandfather, it's faith and
Oh, wait,
it
what am I
is family.
Sorry. What am I obfuscating? I think I missed it, Miss Riz. Did you ask a question or sorry,
Absolutely amazing.
I did not see it.
My last question, and we're done here. I know it's not going to end up this way. Like if I can say somewhere around 100%, it's not. But if Erica Kirk turns out to be super innocent in everything, and we're
Did she just say that? Hold on now. All this whole time, right? They never accused her of murder. They never accused her of wrongdoing. This lady just said it's not going to turn out this way. But if Erica Kirk turns out to be innocent, Candace, you got a heck of a guest on your channel. How are you going to cover this one? I cannot wait to hear this. This is going to be a little wild.
You're just, unfairly blaming her of maybe wrong grief or whatever. What would you say to her if that ends up that she's absolutely innocent in all of this?
If Erica is absolutely innocent in this, I think I would just have more questions. Like, why'd you...
Really? You wouldn't even be able to admit that you were wrong? Are you kidding me? So if Erica's innocent in all this, you'd be like, well, definitely wouldn't apologize.
You lie to me. I would.
Why did you lie to me? Wow. If it turns out that Erica Kirk is innocent in all of this and is correct about everything, you're still going to accuse her of lying? Candace, if she's innocent in all of this, that means she was telling the truth the whole time. And that she didn't lie to you. This is so insane.
Seek to understand, and I considered that plausibility, by the way, that like everyone, it was everyone around her.
Yeah.
That was...
What was the lie, Candace?
Kind of, and she was in a state of shock, and she was catatonic. But then when I met her...
I'm going to ask her, why did she lie to me? About what?
It wasn't that. When I met up with her, it wasn't that. The lies are too devastating. These aren't little...
Okay, name a lie. Let's go ahead and go through it again. Let's see if you have proof. Name a lie.
Little lies. These are cover-up lies.
So, again, you're accusing her of covering up Charlie Kirk's murder.
Superman neck lie. The
Superman neck lie came from the surgeon. You have not debunked that, Candace. You did not say that, or you did not show any proof that the surgeon didn't say that. None.
Is this AI? Like, the first thing, she could just drop the video. She's this chairman and the CEO, instruct them to drop the video.
Hear that little slip, though? She literally is like, oh, well, she lied about the Charlie Kirk voice being AI. Candace is already slipping into it to where it's a matter of fact that that voice is AI now. She's already jumped to the conclusion that she's given a little sneak peek of what's going to come Monday. Monday, she's going to come out and she's going to say, I have confirmed that this is AI. She just let that slip. That's what's going to happen.
And if they tell you no, say, I'm going to go live. You have all the power. So it would be hard to imagine a scenario where her hands are completely clean of everything. How dirty her hands are, I don't know. But I do know that you only lie, like I always say, when you are covering something up. So when I say these people are involved in a cover up, that is what I mean. They are lying and they are covering things up.
What exactly are they covering up? You might as well be hyper specific, Candace.
And does it make sense that she has a close relationship with Kash Patel? She should hate Kash
Charlie Kirk had a close relationship with Kash Patel, right?
Patel. For 1,000 different reasons. Right now, her lawyers are arguing in court. The defense is saying her lawyers are saying we want to keep this May date. And the defense is saying we can't because the FBI hasn't given us files. Call Kash.
Yeah, we don't even have gun.
Yeah. Call Kash.
Yes.
Make it happen right now.
Yes.
Why are you going to events with Kash?
Yeah. What's up with that? Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I was asked the same question. I was like, after my post, and I gave a very, very easy answer to people. I have no problem apologizing to anybody if it comes to that, because we all make mistakes. Mm-hmm. But right now, Charlie Kirk's case is important enough that I'm willing to risk my reputation and damage and say what I'm saying.
Oh, don't worry. I think your reputation is going to get pretty well damaged here before too long. It's not going to be good when Candace falls. I can tell you that. But yeah.
Because yes, Charlie's case is important enough. So no problem with that.
Right. And I agree with you 100%. I will say I am so sorry. We had it so wrong. Yep. But I can already say we didn't have it so wrong because we've caught her in so many verifiable lies. So
exactly.
Does it mean that she pulled the trigger and killed her husband? I don't know anybody that's accused her of that. But I have accused her of being dishonest. And I think I've proven my case, that she is dishonest. What's motivating that dishonesty is yet to be discovered.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. You're so wonderful, and it was a true honor.
It was an honor to meet you. I'm so happy that we were able to do this.
Thank you. Me too.
Nope, none of that. Wow. That was a crazy, crazy, crazy ending. So the beginning of the video and stuff with the dream, and then the very end of the video, there was not anything in the middle. This was a lot. So we had like some stuff right from like, let me just show you. I'll move myself up here. We had some stuff from like here to here, and then we had some stuff from like here to here. And that was about it. That was all the interesting stuff. All the rest of this filler in the middle was garbage. Just garbage. Like, yeah, I don't know. I am very, 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 very irritated with this interview, to be honest. It's crazy, you know? Absolutely crazy. She accused her of being a Black Widow, exactly. Like, it's just... Oh, wow. She couldn't even admit that if she was wrong about Erica Kirk, that she couldn't be wrong about Erica Kirk. She couldn't even admit it. She couldn't even admit that she could be wrong. When asked if she's wrong, what would you do? Well, I certainly wouldn't admit that I was wrong. If she was, you know, if I am wrong about it, I definitely wouldn't admit I was wrong. That's Candace Owens. That's crazy. That is a crazy, crazy thing to do. Holy cow. Yeah, the whole video was her. You said leaking Candace's boots. Yeah, licking Candace's boots for sure, for sure. That is a funny one too, though. Yeah, this is wild. Wow. Ooh. I would be so peed off if she does that. Yeah. Yeah, it's, oh man. Candace will never admit she was wrong. She will not do it. She will never apologize. Candace has never apologized. When Candace Owens had the opportunity to apologize for Social Autopsy in 2017, she refused to apologize. Candace Owens has not apologized for at least a couple decades, I would imagine. Ever. I mean, we saw it with her old lawsuits, Little Yeasty there in that apartment. She didn't apologize. She tried to stay there for 6 months without paying. She is not a person who believes in apologizing. But anyway, guys, I am going to have to definitely get off here. I'm going to read out everyone who's super chatted, and thank you all. Definitely. Mama Owl, thank you so much for that 10. Mackenzie, thank you so much for that 10 as well. Wombat Mommy for a 5. Tirutama for the 5. Miss Riz for the 2. Claire for the 5. Mary Jean for the 4 or for the 5. Mackenzie for the 2. Wombat Mommy for the 5. Hot Pocket for the 20. Mex Chica for the 5. Jacqueline for the 2. Claire for the 5. Ginger for the 2. Jacqueline for the 2. Judgy for the 2. And Ginger for the 10. You guys are so unbelievably kind. Thank you guys so much. Like, again, nobody has to donate, but you all did. It's very kind to you. Thank you guys. For anybody else here, all I ask for is a like and a subscribe. That's really it. Thank you guys so much for being here. And yeah, I'll be live streaming tomorrow night, and we'll get a couple of these videos rolled out tomorrow as well. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you guys here in the next one. Later.